Hello, hello. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. Yep. Oh, I've just turned off my speakers. So I'm going to turn it back on again. There we go. Guess what I'm doing? I'm playing with Streamlabs again. It's just so good. Streamlabs is just good. Can't get around it. It's just, wow, what weird colors. I look so red. Maybe I am just really red. What is that? Is that because it's lit from behind this time? Hey, Alexa, robots off.
Okay.
There you go. That's a little better. And how's our little Stargate going? Is it actually still running? It doesn't look like it is. Do I have to reset it? Isn't that just the best little badge? I just freaking love that thing. I would totally wear it, except I'm worried that I would like break off the top of it up there. Oh no, it's going. Good, 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 good. Okay, it just dials periodically. You guys can figure out where the hell it's going. Okay, can you hear me? I can hear you. A little more volume would not hurt. Oh yeah, you know what? I probably bumped this. How's that for volume? Big hi from Peru, the land of Machu Picchu and the Incas. Oh yeah, cool. So glad you're doing this much better. Oh, good, 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 good. Yeah, volume's a bit on the lower end. Is that better? Much better? Much better. In fact, perfect, they would say. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can screw it up by going in and talking to Discord as well. Here we go. Shut the front door. Is that Jefferson in here too?
Yes, hello.
Dude, how are you?
Good. I've been busy lately
Of course.
with my dad, and I've had school stuff on.
Well, thank you for making time. Wolf Pup.
Yeah.
How are you, Wolf Pup?
I'm good. I found a game that for some reason I can't stop playing.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's called Black Hawk Rescue Mission on Roblox.
Like, what? You're flying Black Hawk helicopters in Roblox?
No, it's like basically you can buy a helicopter, but then like you just run around. It's like a milsim.
Because I can't whistle like my teeth, but I can whistle and
What was that? Is that Jefferson? Oh, I see. Ah,
yeah.
Oh, no worries, buddy. No worries. I got it. You go ahead. You mute whenever you need to. That's fine. It's good to have you, bud. It's nice even just having you lurking. It's good to hear from you. I had a very interesting email with your foster mom, I guess, about crypto the other day. That was very interesting. She was giving me the lowdown on the whole crypto situation. I'm beginning to feel like NFTs are just like total, like, Ponzi schemes at this point. But anyways, all right. Of course, I got to be careful. If I say that, I'm going to get like completely like trolled by everybody, or everyone's going to say I'm agree. Someone had coffee today. I did. I had coffee today. I'm having coffee right now. In fact, Vibe Pop. Okay, so you're playing Roblox. Baz was playing Roblox the other day as well. Roblox is bizarre. Oh, I should talk about that. Shoot, that's another little topic. Did you hear about this, Vibe Pop? That Spotify has an island in Roblox now?
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, does it suck? Is it a lame adult approach at trying to take over Roblox or something? I guess they're trying to do like concerts like they used to do in Fortnite.
It's basically just you run around and your character automatically does parkour moves whenever you touch something.
That's it?
Yeah.
But do you
And,
think
like,
it'll turn into like a concert venue or something?
Only if they do it like that.
Let me see if I can show this page. Oh my gosh. Lord Chunky just sent me a picture of what I think might be his new bike, and it looks freaking awesome. I think he just dropped a serious amount of coin on a bike. It's a Marin or something? A Marin? Wow, that is a good looking bike. I wonder if I can share that. Can I show that? Man, I got my bike stolen from the garage, so I need to get a new bike, but I don't think I'm buying this one. This looks way too nice for me.
How is it stolen from your garage?
From my garage. Well, because maybe I was an idiot and I didn't actually lock it. No, we don't normally lock anything. Well, we lock the house, but normally we don't lock the garage because it's in our backyard. You'd have to come round the back through the gate. There's a dog. They'd have to walk through all the dog poop to get there. I mean, like it's a minefield. But they they at the beginning of the pandemic, I guess they came in, and I mean, I guess they must have been desperate for some money or something, but they came in, they rummaged through all my old tech. So I have all this old stuff that I keep wrapped up in plastic so that, so if we ever one day we get back to actually doing live Tech Bandits where we get to sort of pull apart computers and stuff, I have them all in the garage. I'm stored there, but I wrap them in plastic because I don't want extra bugs on the inside. You know what I mean? Like I don't want people to open up an old printer and then out comes like a raccoon or something. So I wrap them in plastic. So these jerks went through and unwrapped everything, looking to see if there's anything valuable. But of course it wasn't. It's all just stuff to be taken apart. So they left all this wrapping stuff all over my garage, and then they stole my freaking bicycle. So that I got for my 40th birthday from my son and my wife, and I loved that bike, but they took it. There's something about, I mean, I know, I'm sure there are reasons why they did it, but thieves just make me angry. I don't like thieves. There's something about, I don't know, because you're I don't know. I suppose I should, whatever. I mean, I suppose I can afford to lose a bike, I suppose, so I should just shut up. But it's, you know, it was just, and not only that, they stole a woman's, like an old lady's purse from her house. Like she went out because she saw some people in the backyard, so she went out and one of them snuck in and stole her purse while she was outside talking to the guy who was in her backyard. So yeah, no. Well, now I have security cams. Anquitas. We have security cams all over the place now. I'm like I'm like a freak now. Hey, look, all the dinosaurs are dancing. Isn't it nice having the avatars back? Like I gotta say, I thought Streamlabs was a ripoff. I didn't like the fact that Streamlabs OBS was how I got into it. I thought it was an OBS related thing. It turns out it wasn't. But I gotta say, they offer a good service. I like it. I mean, I'm sure other people have problems with them. I gotta say, it makes it very easy for me. Gimpy G sold me back on it again. I think we might be able to stream some Magic the Gathering through their iPad. Although I got to talk to Gimpy G about that because I've got another idea. I love playing Magic the Gathering. Playing Magic the Gathering with Gimpy G as my brain is the best because I can do some thinking, but Gimpy G does all the hard thinking, and then we actually win the odd game. It's kind of fun. So. Captain Catherine's office got robbed. They tried to haul a 75-inch TV on a bicycle. Ugh. That's the other.
Robbing on a bicycle?
They tried to steal a 75-inch television on a bicycle. I'm not saying that thieves are smart or not very good at planning. They have the same planning skills as I do, basically. What's EDH? EDH, what does that mean? Did I miss something? Do they video to share? That would be hilarious. If you had video of someone trying to steal a 75-inch television on a bicycle, I'd watch that. Should have just worn a vest and a clipboard and no one would have stopped them. I mean, that's the funny thing, isn't it, Zaberzint? It's like thieves are just, I think the opportunist stuff. I mean, I think if you actually planned a heist, you'd probably do quite well, I would think. It's this sort of random, it's this like someone sees something and goes like on an impulse decides to steal something, or they've had a couple of drinks or they're stoned or something. They make dumb decisions. They make definitely questionable life decisions. And the next thing you know, they're trying to steal a 75-inch television on the back of a bicycle that they've probably stolen too. Yeah. What do we got? There was something, I remember I did a show years ago called Top Cops. And it was all of these reenactments of police people who've had, interesting or tragic or exciting stories in their past. And I of course always played the person who did the crime. I never played the policeman. I was always the bad guy. So my guy shot a policeman in the face with a shotgun. Just hit him in the face, and his face was he survived, but he was obviously, really badly injured. And very lucky to survive. And that was basically, I remember talking to the producer, I guess, at the time, or I don't know who it was at the time. Anyways, and he was saying that
you were talking about real life, and I was just like,
it was real life. It really did happen. I mean, I didn't shoot him, but I played the guy who shot him. But in real life, this guy got shot. I think he stopped. I can't remember what it was. I'd have to look it up, the Top Cop episode. But it was he was stopped for a traffic stop or something, and the guy shot him in the face. Shot him point blank in the face, and he survived. But of course, he looks like he's been shot in the face now. But they were saying that all the stories were basically, what they learned from all these stories was that for the most part, it's about stupid criminals and very, very, very lucky law enforcement people. Like it's just a matter of stupidity and luck combined. You know, because like it's like, you know, an inch to the left with the shotgun and the guy wouldn't be alive anymore. And you know, it's they were amazing. I mean, I've never been a big fan of the reenactment stuff, but they're fun to do. But they're not. I never really watched much of the reenactment stuff. I always found I used to love watching cops and stuff. Did you ever watch that, Wolf Pup? It's probably a little bit. You're probably not supposed to. But I used to like watching it for acting because you'd see these people. You'd see people at their absolute worst and people at their absolute best. And so from an acting standpoint, it was fun to watch because I often, you know, in acting, you're generally playing extremes, right? You're like, so I would watch, I think it was probably my excuse for watching it, but you know, you could really you could see how people just do stupid things without thinking. You could see how what people act like when they're drunk. I mean, you know, I had actor friends who used to get drunk in scenes where they're supposed to be drunk, and of course they're just bad actors, right? So what you want to do is you want to be sober watching people who are drunk because you learn so much more about how they behave. And so that kind of stuff, or stoned people, or people who are like on crazy drugs that I'm never gonna, hopefully, never be a part of. You know, so what do we got here? Gimpy G, good friend of mine. Oh yes. Nightbot has reminded us, of course, that Gimpy G is still living in a crappy temporary residence without any of his assistive tech. So why don't you go on over to his GoFundMe and give him a hand, because that'd be amazing. He is, I think, right now talking to a company that I don't know. He may have seen it already, but I watched a little video today about this. I'll just see can I show you? I think I can show you. Let me see if I can share the video. Let me see. See if I can do this. Where we go. I've got a few things. I got a whole thing I got to ask you too, Wolf Pup. I got the questions you got to help me out with. Okay, let's see if I can share this. Can I share just this window? Is that possible? Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Chrome. There you go. Let's check this out. Okay, so check this out. There it goes. There I am. So this is this thing called, if I put it in the right place, I got to move everything. I got to move me. Where do I go? No, that's not me. Is that me? No, that's not me. Is that me? That's me. Okay, I'm going to move me up a little bit.
You can only see something called Obi.
Yeah, Obi, that's it. So this is a robot that feeds you, right? And I don't mean just because I'm lazy. I'm talking about like people who can't feed themselves. You know, we don't really think anything of it because, you know, it's just like, what's the big deal? You get a sandwich, you eat the sandwich. But if you can't actually move on your own, someone else has got to feed you, right? Which has got to be really frustrating because no one's going to give me as much food as I really want, right? It's like, no, I don't want the small piece of chocolate cake. I want the giant piece of chocolate cake. And if you're feeding me, I want to make sure that I'm being fed the largest piece of chocolate cake. So these are the things I worry about. And so this technology just seemed like kind of a neat system. But I'll tell you, it suffers from something that a lot of these assistive technologies suffer from in their marketing, is the marketing always just seems like it makes me skeptical. Like it's like the marketing is so like the music's always like la 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 la. It's always like this really happy, you know, like, you know, everything's possible music, and there's always these very earnest people talking about it. I'm just curious to know. I think like I would love Gimpy G to do like a review of this technology for us and tell us if it actually works, you know, because it looks amazing. But then I start wondering about like how hard would it like what if he's eating peas? Would it be hard to get the peas on the spoon? And like what if it's like how does it know what to grab? Like, how does it is the bowl shaped in such a way that it's gonna like look? Okay, what are they serving there? Okay, they're serving M&Ms. No, like peanut chocolate covered raisins or something. And there was like popcorn. How does popcorn stay on the spoon? Right? Wouldn't a claw be better for that? Like a claw of popcorn or like a little scoop or something? I don't know. So I'm curious to see how it works. Well, in fact, maybe it's possible Gimpy G might even just pop in and let us know how it's going. But anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. And then let me see if I can share this bike with you. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I open the link? If I do that? Is that open? Yeah, do that. So, here we go. All right. Okay, I think I can now show you. Hopefully I don't show anything that I'm not supposed to, but whatever. I trust you all. Let me go back to here and see if I can share this as well. Here we go. Nope, that's independent eating. Why don't I have a choice of doing? Interesting. Okay.
What's the school cam showing?
Ah, funny you should ask, Wolf O Vibe Pup. That is a Stargate badge. That is. I should get the guy's name again because I can't. I never remember his Twitter handle. He was so nice. He showed me. Well, it was on Twitter one day. He was like showing it off, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's brilliant!" And then he offered to send me one, and so he sent me this thing, and it's freaking brilliant. His name is Keeper of Bits, and he's or Sarif, I guess, and he made these badges for. I don't know what it was for actually. What was it for? Badge stuff. Let me see. Badge stuff. Oh, it was a DEF CON. It was a DEF CON Stargate badge. So basically, that's a badge that you would hang around a lanyard around your neck or whatever. And but it like or whatever it does. Hey, Gippy G, are you here with an OB review for us?
I've got info.
Oh yeah.
So okay, it doesn't see or anything. You put it in learn, and then somebody ambulatory takes it through its motion and puts it where it's going to end up.
Right. So it learns the motions by someone who can moving the arm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay. Yeah.
I saw it doing some very intricate things with soup, like scooping the soup and then
Scooping the soup.
Back of the soup.
Yeah.
Right, scooping the soup and
Yeah.
then running the back along the edge of the bowl so that the bottom wouldn't drip down your face.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna up your volume. Apparently, everyone's volume is a little low. Is that better for everybody? How does that sound?
Me. Testing.
There you go.
1, 2.
Can't hear
Okay.
Gimp. Are we allowed to call? I think maybe we should go with his full name, shall we? Shall we, Yank? I know what you mean, but I imagine that some people might be horrified. Yeah, exactly.
Visitors might cry.
Exactly. I'm gonna up you even more. Let's see if that works. Oh wait a sec. No, I can just do you on Discord too, can't I? Wait a sec. Hang on one sec.
I don't know.
Gimpy G, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna up your volume just a little bit. Here we go. All right, try that.
Okay, try.
Oh, okay. He's
No,
blowing my
like
eardrums now.
that.
It's perfect. Go
Chat,
for it.
chat.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So as I was saying, do you think they heard the other part? I'll start back from
All
the
right.
beginning.
Yeah. We're gonna start
So
again.
It doesn't see you or anything, so it's not reacting to you. A person who can move takes it through a motion, say a feeding step from one. It's got, I think, 3 different dishes or 3 different troughs. What would you call that? Anyway,
I like troughs just because it just sounds it's more insulting to you somehow.
yeah. So so it's this is soup. So
Let's see if I
the
can
person takes it, does a soup thing, and then puts it up to your mouth where you want it, quote unquote, and then it will from then on repeat that motion itself.
Right.
But
So it doesn't know if it's just spooning hot soup down your front.
Yeah, it has no clue.
Okay.
Like
all right.
if your head moved just a little bit, or the machine,
Mm,
it would be completely off.
okay.
Right.
Well, here it is. I've got it in action. I think I've got it in the video of it in action here. I noticed that it's in
Okay,
action without any food in the thing. But okay. All right. So it's dumb basically.
It's probably really dumb.
Yeah.
Unless it's got some, I don't know, pre-programmed things that are happening. Like I said, the scoop soup, then shuffle the bottom along the edge of the soup bowl so that it doesn't drip on you. I find that's an important
smart.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, I see them do that for themselves, but for me, it's always just right down my shirt. So
Right.
Oh.
That's actually very British. The British do that. You scoop away from yourself. I mean, which doesn't make any sense, but it's like many things that the British do. You sort of scoop away from yourself, and then you take the drips off the bottom of the spoon. That's very British.
Dude, you know what? We need to make a British version of this that has like a pinky sticking out.
Oh, that's good.
Or
Yes.
like that.
And every so often says something about the Empire. Just randomly. Oh, there you go. Here you go. That's it. Picking up some food. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. Okay.
It's not bad. But, okay, when I see somebody that looks like they're as immobile as me, when it gets to their mouth and ready for the bite, it cuts. When there's somebody that has upper trunk motion, I see them lean forward and get their bite. So that I'm curious about.
How much movement do you have? I mean, you can move your head. but you
can
can't.
move, not my trunk at all. Like,
I see.
yeah,
So that thing would have to be like up your nose before you're going for the spoon.
correct. Like
Right.
Vinnie Barbarino, up your nose.
Up
with
your
the
nose.
authority.
That's it. So wait a sec. So, I mean, it's probably. Is it worth trying?
Take a guess at how much it costs.
Oh no! Seriously? I saw
I don't
something
know.
about like you could lease it for $275 a month, which didn't seem crazy, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like you'd have that paid off pretty quickly. All right, Wolf Pup, what do you think? How much do you think it costs?
Yeah, no, Wolf Pup. Remember, I didn't poop my pants when I heard the price, so don't get too crazy, but it is crazy.
If it's $200 a month, then it's probably gonna be like $800.
$800.
$800
I have
bucks,
I
okay?
have a feeling that Gimpy's got a bigger number than that. I'm tempted to add a zero to that and say 8,000.
You're so close, David.
Really?
It's like 6,800 bare bones. So by the time you're done adding the spoon, because it doesn't come with the spoon, bro. Or the plate, or the buttons.
But couldn't you
So
do that with
it's-
something like this? Like, couldn't you do something like with the Easy Robot? Just have an arm that does that. I guess, although if you get food on it, you're gonna electrocute yourself, and I guess it doesn't have all the safety things. And
Like, safety, who cares?
I mean,
Trying to get food here.
I don't care. But I just thought you might. I mean, because technically, the Easy Robot should allow you. You could easily make something, not easily, because I'm an idiot. But I'm sure there's a way of making a way. In fact, I thought there was a video. There may have been a video that Easy Robot did that one of their engineers actually built a little thing that fed someone. But I think it was pretty rudimentary. But you're saying this is pretty rudimentary.
I feel like it's, I mean, evidently their first iteration was released in 2017.
Okay. Right.
And now they're on their second that released in 2021, and it's much smoother, they said, which I don't know if you've had hot soup, but I would think jerky motions and hot soup would not.
Yeah, I wouldn't be using my Easy Robot to serve you soup. I mean, I might, but that would just be mean.
Maybe a gazpacho, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. I mean,
We could have Q invent food just for the Obi.
yeah, that's true. Robot edible food. That's interesting though, because I mean, well, like, so Q, how would Q use it? Q wouldn't be able to. I don't think he could. I don't think he could, right?
Sorry, buddy. They keep showing people. Oh, hurry, Chit. We don't want that to get a strike on us. Okay. Anyways, if they show somebody like Q getting a bite, they show it go up to his mouth and then stop.
Let's see
And
if I
I'm
can see.
really, because he's not going to be able to reach out. I'm not either, but.
Is it just because it might not be pretty or something, or what? I mean, what are they?
Well, it could be, but I mean.
I don't know how often
I
you're
don't
going to be
feel
feeding yourself. Like, well, I guess blueberries. Let's see. Is this going to show someone
Well,
being
it's
fed?
mac and cheese.
No, it stops
sauce.
again. Oh, wait a second. What about this? Oh, I think there was something in this one. I feel like there was some eating in this one. Here we go.
No, there is eating, but you'll see the person has upper torso movement.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that guy's actually holding up his. Yes, you're right. Okay. I mean, again, not to diminish it as a technology. I think it's great for certain people, but it's not.
Correct.
You're saying it's not the answer for everybody.
What do they call that? A panacea?
Panacea.
If it's a cure-all?
Ah, it's
Like
not a
a cure-all.
panacea?
It's not.
Yeah, look, so he had to adjust to get that. So that went a little too far to the right, and he had to adjust for it.
Correct. So people like Q and I, who would pretty much need it jammed right in our head hole,
Right.
would,
Yeah, you'd be snorting a lot of soup.
when you talk to the people, they just don't get my humor. Over OB,
Oh, really?
Whatever.
Well, they're probably
They're like,
terrified of saying the wrong thing, right?
Probably.
Like me.
So, yeah. You've gotten over it real quick. Good job.
That's interesting though. So that's like Gimpy G is our like reporter on the ground. He called them up. You called them up. You tried to crack a few jokes. Maybe you're just not funny.
Yeah.
What kind of jokes did you make that they were like, no, sir? What did they
referred to the mouth as a head hole? They didn't get it. So.
Oh, they're probably thinking like, "Oh my God, what kind of a disability is that? He's got a hole in his head." No, it's where the food goes. It's fine. Yeah.
No, just a mouth. just about. Okay.
Wow.
So, and I didn't even go sexual with the joke. So,
Yeah, thank
I,
God.
I can,
And you're not going to
above
now,
board.
right? Just to be clear.
No,
Yeah. Okay. Good.
no,
Just
we
checking.
got little ones.
Yeah.
about
Okay. That's right. Yeah. I'm a naive soul. You don't want to offend me.
Yeah, you're English.
So I'm very British. Okay. So do you think? I mean, are you gonna try one out? You think? Not for what did you say? $6,800?
Not for six. Well, I might. Let's say some of our plans pan out. I might throw some credentials out there and say, "Oh, I'm making a thing," and then
Well, that's what I
and then
wondered.
they
Like,
go, "Oh, well, yeah."
like. I mean, I guess this is probably not the publicity that they want because it's not like going like, "Oh my God, this is the best." But that's my problem. Is I feel like, and maybe this is just a able-bodied thing, which I'm of course now no longer a part of because my shoulders are so bad.
Yeah, you see,
yeah.
Dad, you probably need this.
Yeah, it's nothing like talking to Gimpy G about
That's why
my.
you're looking for it.
I love how Gimpy G pretends to care about my shoulders hurting, but you can tell he's like, "Shut up."
No,
But I feel like there's a tendency to go like, "Oh my God, it feeds people who can't feed themselves," and that's sort of where the logic ends. People
right. I was watching that. Yeah,
It's like
I read all the comments in the YouTubes, and that's what it was.
right.
This is life changing for so many.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a couple of people there who I think it probably is life changing for. There's that guy.
Yeah.
There was one guy who got kind of verklempt about it all because he was like, I get to sit and eat food with my wife as opposed to my wife having to feed me while we're at breakfast
Right.
and stuff. That I mean, I can imagine that would be like not to diminish what it can do, but again, I think there's a tendency.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
okay. If we could make something like that
Mm.
that had an eyeball on it, and maybe what's the LiDAR,
Oh,
so it knew what your mouth was.
it's with a face hole tracking device.
Correct. So you don't always have to be exactly in the right spot.
This sounds like a Google AI question.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But I've already Lawrence is probably tired of those. But that's okay.
We stood up poor Lawrence. We didn't even know Lawrence. So Lawrence Moroney, this wonderful, wonderful guy from Google, who is the brains behind the AI that did the Stargate AI script recently, which is really fun. Like just the idea that you feed all of these scripts, all these Stargate scripts, to an artificial intelligence, and then it starts writing for you. And as it turns out, it's just another bad writer in the mix. But the technology is getting there. The potential is there. What I see, and so we were supposed to chat with him on, was it Friday? Thursday?
Correct.
Yeah. But his plane was late, so we assumed he wouldn't be able to make it. So we hopped on and started playing Magic the Gathering. And the poor guy tried to get in touch with us. And Gimpy G and I are like, woohoo, Magic the Gathering! And just being total nerds and missed out talking to, a Google AI expert. We missed out talking to him.
So sad.
Because we were playing, because I think I spent $20 on. I spent $20 on Magic the Gathering cards instead of talking to the Google AI guy. That's how bad I am at education. There you go.
But you made your own deck and you won. I say 4 out of 5. But
That was a fun. I got it. Like,
Yeah.
I actually want to talk to you about that because I really think we've got something there. Like I almost don't care because I enjoyed it so much. It's basically, like Gimpy G's the brain, I'm the clicker of mice, and but I get to throw a few things in now and again. It's very actor-like.
Right, no, always.
I'm more meat puppet than I am actor. But the idea is that I can fall back on all of Gimpy G's much greater knowledge of Magic the Gathering now, and but there's another one. Have you seen this Magic Online? Have you seen this?
No.
Yeah, we should have a look because it's ugly. Like it's ugly compared to Magic Arena, but it allows you to play the real game, basically.
Oh.
There's none of these fancy animations, and you can't have your quantum cat popping in and out or whatever your silly things are that you've invested in. But
Okay.
all of your little accoutrements, your little what are they? They're like the fuzzy dice that hang from a car. Gimpy G's got lots of that
Truck
stuff.
nuts.
The truck nuts, exactly. Truck nuts.
Yes.
Yes. God, those are awful. When I see them, it's like you're driving a Ford 150 already, You know, unless it's electric,
Yeah,
I don't respect you. I'm sorry, I don't. Um, also, what is it about Ford 150s that they have to double park? For some reason,
I don't know.
it's like a weird. It's like F-150 owners are like a whole other civilization unto their own. Anyways,
The freedom.
going back, there you go. It's truck rally stuff. So just going back to the assistive tech for a second, the thing that I've noticed, my new theory on this is that it's driven by engineers and by nerds who want to help, like who really do want to help, but
Right.
they've got that same mentality of like, you know, look, we get it out to market and then we'll figure out the problems. But the problem is with assistive tech, that little 20% or that extra 8% or whatever it is that you need to go to make it perfect
Right.
is exactly the essential part of assistive tech. Right?
Yep.
It's got to work every time. Otherwise, it's useless to you. You know?
Yep.
It only has to drop a couple of scalding spoonfuls of soup down you, and you are no longer ever using, you know, the device for that.
Is that Lord Chunky?
Is Lord Chunky there?
I can't remember who's chubby Deadpool.
That's me.
Oh,
That's Vibe Pup. I can't see. I gotta change
No.
my setup here. Wait a second. What do we got? Oh no, we got Jefferson in today too, who we haven't seen forever, by
I
the
saw
way.
that too.
He's been
Oh,
like
I
crazy
did,
busy
yeah.
apparently. But it's nice even just having him lurk. Okay, so I was talking to his foster mom about crypto. She emailed a little while back, and we were going back for she'd gone to a convention about some tech con and had spent a while talking to crypto folks, and it was fascinating because she's quite down on it on the crypto stuff, and I've sort of started going there myself. I feel like I'm finding it hard to find the positive to this whole NFT stuff right now. It just feels like it's just about people trying to get in early enough that they make money. There doesn't seem to be the underlying technology isn't being used well. Like there was I just finished this book called I thought I was telling you about it the other day. I've forgotten now. It's called like Gene. What's it called? The Gene Engine or something?
Genesis? No.
Genesis. Is it that right? The Genesis engine or the Genesis machine or
Yeah,
something?
Genesis engine. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and one of the things they were talking about that I thought was really interesting was the idea of using blockchain to track synthetic biology. So when you create little, you know, biological robots and stuff, and when people order DNA strands and stuff to be made for them, or any of these technologies, there should be a completely open and transparent system for sharing where they came from, how they were used, what the findings were, so that we could share this stuff and also be really careful that someone doesn't by accident order anthrax or on purpose order anthrax or
Right.
or get the new COVID variant and then make it even more virulent or something, right? So I thought that was fascinating. That's a great use of a blockchain technology.
Yeah.
Someone slapping together a monkey and giving it like you know, groovy eyeballs that follow you around the room is not, and then charge $80,000 for it. It just feels like someone's trying to rip me off there. But
If you ever get a chance, watch the video Bitcoin. It's like a con,
Bitcoin.
but for Bitcoin, right? Or for all crypto.
which there's an irony to the fact that it's called a con. But anyways, yes,
No,
Bitcoin.
it's more than that. It
All
looks like a revival.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
There was a guy like running around on the stage going, and who are we going to do? And what are we going to do? Make money? Yeah. that's right,
We're gonna
make
ape.
money.
We're going to go ape or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Apparently, all of that stuff is just tanking right now. Like just tanking. It's all right, everyone. Gimpy G is just being attacked by small rat-like rodent beasts.
Okay, good. Yay.
If caught, tell them it's for science. Yes, good point. Most crypto blockchain stuff is a solution looking for a problem. Yes, I would agree, Hank. And again, I was very, very positive about this to start because I'm a nerd. I love this stuff. I want technology to be the next great thing. But I do feel like I thought this biotech one was interesting. Amy Webb is the woman one of the writers, and she calls herself a futurist, which always makes me shudder a little bit. But honestly, I'm kind of coming around to that too because she's got some really good sort of scenario and sort of future. She's kind of got an interesting approach to how she talks about the future. Like she does the research.
Yeah.
I love the idea of saying something like, okay, let's say COVID never goes away. It's always deadly. And so society now just has to change to involve that in their everyday life. How will that affect farming? How will that affect stock market? How, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Like it's kind of the scenarios she runs are kind of fun, or terrifying is the point.
Fun, yeah.
It's fun to watch,
Hunger Games fun.
Dr. N PhD, welcome. Cal is welcoming people. Why is she having a good day? It must be her birthday or something. That must be why she's so happy today. All right. There were a couple things I was gonna bring up that I thought was interesting. One was, and this will be another question for Wolf Pup because Wolf Pup's good at answering these things. I have to go to. So I'm doing a little chitty chat thing, like one of these what are they called? Online lecture things. And is someone hiccuping?
Man, Jen, you got David dialed in. He's like, is somebody hiccuping?
Was it hiccuping?
Up, there he is. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. No, I only recognize it because I do that. So I'm doing this little chitty chat thing, this little like online course, and they're talking about, it's like, how do we teach critical thinking? And then I was like,
right.
I sort of know what they're talking about, but what is like critical thinking? Excuse me. And why is it important? Hey, excuse me.
Yes, you.
That's just me spreading a little COVID for everyone.
That's
and
right. You're a giver.
It's like, what's a good, Gimpy G, how would you define critical thinking? How would you define it?
I want to hear Wolf Pup first.
Okay. Wolf Pup, do you know what critical thinking is?
I don't know the exact definition, but I have an idea of what I think it is.
All right, what do you got? Hit me.
I think critical thinking would be like thinking on how to improve the world.
On how to improve the world?
Yeah, because critical thinking would be like, I'm gonna make a funny game on the internet. I feel like, it thinks like a critical thinking would be
like how to make that happen.
No, not even how to make that happen.
So
like inferences, like doctors,
right?
And improving the lives of others.
Huh. Look at you going right to improving people's lives. I love it. Well, so I didn't know what critical thinking was either. Like I'm sort of with you. I was like, well, I guess it's about like solving problems and stuff. It's defined as the critical thing. So it's the analysis of available facts.
Right.
So I guess it's being able to process available facts, evidence, observations, and arguments to form a judgment.
I made a summer school syllabus. Like I created a course for this.
I went to summer school. That's my only connection to this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it was more like summer camp school.
Oh, really?
Like
no.
The kids didn't have to be there.
I had to be there because I failed. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. We know that story. He was all, and I run.
Yes.
I'm in school.
I was too busy doing my hair. It is true. All right, sorry, carry on. So you had a course. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So what you have to do is apply almost like skepticism to the information you're getting. Somebody really smart once said, I want to keep an open mind, but not so open my brain falls out. Right? So it's like that. If you approach things, might be a good idea, but you also apply strategies that you learn to assess how true or false or feasible that idea is. Basically using logic on info that you're taking in.
Right. So does that make sense, Vipup? Like, so basically it's like, yes, if you want to create something, it's like it's basically how you would research and figure out how to, am I getting this right? How you would basically research what is available of known about the subject and then figure out how you would make it possible, or even whether it's worth making possible for that matter.
That, and then whether or not your sources of information are valid they might just be full of poop.
Right. Right.
You know, if you're going to research COVID, say,
Yeah.
so we type COVID into Google,
Right.
and we get 3 pop-ups, and one says CDC for Center of Disease Control,
Right.
and then we got COVID gives you herpes,
Right.
and then we've got
Right.
I don't know, Jesus hates COVID.
Well, that's interesting. So the first one that comes up for me is a link, is a Google created link, I guess, and it's all top stories, which is funny because for a while there it wasn't.
Yeah.
For a while there it wasn't. It was something completely different. So they've obviously like cracked down on what you can, on what they're covering here. Okay.
On Facebook, if you do the same thing, you can get some real, woohoo,
Right.
some real interesting things. And every story now pops up and says this, you know, COVID's real, vaccinations are good, but carry on, read this. But,
I'm skeptical because the health information that's come up has diarrhea spelt wrong.
oh, see?
Which makes me immediately question the validity of their information.
God, you know what? I just thought of a way that your brain is like vastly superior to mine. I am an anti-speller.
You're an anti-speller?
Well, I've never put pen to paper, right?
Yeah.
So I've never, I mean, and this technology that I'm using, you know, came in my adult life,
Right.
like 30s.
Right.
So in school, and I even had a teacher in 7th grade go, you're not going to need to spell and stuff, so don't worry about it. And she just gave me an A, and I just sat there and read comic books.
Although comic books are great. Yeah.
They are great. And
which in a way, you probably got a good vocabulary from the comic books because they were always far more advanced than most of the stuff I was reading in school
that's
anyways.
What I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could be wrong even. I don't know. I feel like that's why I'm a terrible speller. I'm really great at math, but
I'm a terrible speller because my father used to just make up how things were spelled. Like I'd come in and go like, "Hey, Dad, how do you spell so and so?" And he wouldn't look it up. He would just answer, and he was invariably wrong. And he's a doctor.
If you spelled diarrhea with a P, I'd have to think about it.
There was, I mean, I'm pretty sure he would have spelled diarrhea right, but he wouldn't have even, he would never use that because again, he was British. So he would say if they were having if you were having loose bowel movements, that's how my father would probably refer to it. Yeah. To be fair, diarrhea is a tricky word to spell. It's true. No, it's true, Captain Catherine. Someone said, I thought this was really interesting. Never laugh at someone for mispronouncing something.
You're right
because it means they read it.
Reading beyond their.
It means they read. Yeah, it means they read. It means they read, and I think that's kind of important. Yep. All right. So critical thinking. Why do we care? What do you think, Wolf Pup?
Well,
I mean, why do we like? What do you like? So if we're like critical thinking, why is it important then?
Get into this question, but I'm having a squirrel moment right now.
Are you squirreling?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We love our squirrels. What are you playing? What do you got?
I'm playing the Roblox game, but I want to talk about how I am making a Dungeons and Dragons campaign for me and my friends.
Are you seriously?
Oh, nice, buddy.
Oh, that's fantastic. You're the dungeon master? Okay, go do your thing. Come back to us with the dungeon master stuff later. Okay, all right. Well, if you need,
I'm just saying, I want to talk about that later.
If you need tips, that's James Gurney. James Gurney's the guy. James Gurney, who now paints as well. Did you see that? Sickening.
Let's just call him Renaissance Man or something like that.
Seriously. Oh, hi, Michelangelo. How are you?
What's up, Da Vinci?
Yeah. I wonder how many jobs he has now, just out of curiosity. Or how many job offers?
I'm finishing the critical thinking thing.
Oh, you are? Go. Yeah.
I feel like the reason why critical thinking is important is because if we had no people doing critical thinking, then the world would just be like gaming. Like, if I got...
Isn't it?
If we had no critical thinkers, then it would just be like... I don't know how to explain this really well.
No, I think you raised a really good point right there.
It would just be really stupid stuff. Like, we would still be dying from, like, chicken pox. Because we wouldn't have the vaccine, because people would be thinking about making things like...
Their priorities would be all wrong.
Yeah.
I guess
you're saying,
yeah.
without critical thinking, life would be like high school. Yeah.
Or like kindergarten by the sound of it.
Well, kindergartners you can reason with, or at least scare them.
Yeah.
High
Oh, that's
school.
true.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting because I think given that definition of critical thinking, it's something that I definitely struggle with because my focus is terrible, and I think that may be a personality thing and maybe an ADHD thing. I don't know, but it requires. I mean, it's a skill to be able to research and stay on track and look through all of that stuff to
Would
get to
people
an
be
answer.
mad if we looked at Elon Musk real quick?
No, why? Elon Musk is everywhere right now.
Because-
He's in the news all over the place. It's
Yeah.
like he's newsworthy.
You've applied critical thinking to him.
In what way?
You don't. Well, okay, if you just go with the standard what's being said,
Mm.
he's like, the Jesus of gadgets and tech. But if you look at him a little more carefully, you go, okay, I'm skeptical of that.
Yeah.
What has he actually done with like the boring company?
Mm.
And so then you look at these things, you go, wait a minute, he's just doing the same thing everybody else is trying.
Mm.
The only thing he's adding is saying he's going to be successful without a doubt.
Mm.
And then if he's not, it doesn't matter. He's moved on anyway.
Yeah. He's an interesting one. I want to like him. Like I like the idea of him. He's like a science fiction character to me. But I do find him a bit odd sometimes. And I feel like I think more and more now I'm worried about people being out of touch. You know what I mean?
Well, and
With
that's
what's happening in the
lack of
world.
critical thinking.
And is that lack
Yeah.
of? Well, that's interesting. I thought it was
I believe
privilege.
so.
I was thinking it was privilege. Just if you have so
Oh,
much
exactly.
money, you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, my bad. I thought you meant people's assessment of him.
Oh no, the assessment of him. No, I think the assessment of him is fascinating because again, I think you're right. I think you can apply it if you were to apply critical thinking to his career and his influence. You would have to look at
Right.
okay, so he didn't create Tesla. He didn't he buy into it or something or he
Right. It was
I mean-
already made.
yeah he made all of his money on
And he got-
PayPal, didn't he?
I think so. And he didn't make that either.
Which I love,
So-
by the way. I think PayPal's freaking genius.
But
So
I
mostly,
didn't
yeah,
he
go ahead.
also? Sorry. Didn't he make SpaceX and the Bourne Company out of his own?
Is that his own stuff? Did he invent that stuff?
Did
Like,
he use his own rib?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he invented those two.
did he?
No.
Okay, I don't. Oh, he didn't.
No. Like,
All right, Gimpy G is
That-
telling it like it
you
is.
can go
Gimpy
to-
G, our reporter on the ground. What do you got?
well, okay. I just don't know what you call inventing it. If I go up to a group of really talented engineers and say, make me fly,
Ha.
bro, and then they make me fly in 3 years, I'm like, I invented this fly. You know what I'm saying?
Ha. So
Seems
he's
like he
responsible
made-
for. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What I meant by inventing is that he made the company, not that he made all the work. I don't think he made much of the space
Right.
at all.
I'm
The
looking
only
at his.
thing I saw him.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was looking at what patents he owns.
Well, he might
But that
own
doesn't
them.
help either. You might have just bought the patents. That's true. Wait a second, you might have just bought the patents, right?
Anybody who works for you, anybody who invents something for you while on your pay,
Ha.
that invention is yours. Like
He has
the guys at colleges.
three vehicle design patents, 2 autonomous vehicle design patents.
Well, and we know there's no such thing as an autonomous vehicle.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Location specific search 2. I don't know what that is. Exchange of data 1 and telephone network 1. Telephone network? What? I feel he's a little behind the times on that. Alexander Graham Musk. I don't think What do you make of Musk? Wolf Pup. I mean, what's your sense? What are your friends and do you ever like?
and
Does he
you
ever
can
come
like
up?
him too. That's fine.
Like, search up what is Elon Musk doing 2022, but like from what I've seen just from like internet and just what's being talked about,
Mm.
like him buying stuff.
Like Twitter. He's gonna buy Twitter apparently, or he's
He
trying
already
to buy
bought
Twitter.
it.
Has he got it? I don't think it's confirmed yet, though. Isn't he still
it.
raising some money? Like, he's got to
Yeah.
raise billions. The problem with billionaires now is none of them actually have any money on them. It's all like they've all got to they got to shift stocks around and stuff, right?
Except the super cool thing is they can borrow money for like nothing
Oh, I know.
against their trillions that are or billions that are not real. They're just on paper, but they can borrow real money against it.
Dude,
So
we're
cool.
looking at we were talking about like changing our mortgage or what is it, redoing our mortgage now because there's a bunch of stuff we want to get done to the house, and it's like I don't want to wait till we're selling to do all the fun stuff to our house, including, by the way, the garage, which is Jane's like, do we need to do the garage? I says, yes, we do, because that's where the Tech Bandits are going to use my CNC machine and the 3D printer. I've got the CNC out there. I want to move. Yeah. Like, so the idea being is that like Lord Chunky or a bag of chips or whatever can come by, or their dads or their mums or sisters or brothers. They can come into the garage without interrupting the house, us at all. And they can just go in and use these tools, which frankly are just sitting there not being used when I'm not using them. Right. So that was the kind of hope. That's part of Tech
I
Bandits.
just thought of an idea.
What do you got?
Put a sign up over the door and call it the Techery, and have like cogs and wheels and things
that's what
all
I'd
around.
like. I want like a maker space that people could just come and use whenever they freaking want to. And then maybe we like put a couple of cameras in there to make sure no one steals anything, or maybe because if the guy shows up for his bicycle, the bicycles again, that won't be good. So I guess you'd have to have a membership, and maybe we'd have like one of, I think Raccoon Noodle's dad does ID cards. His company he does those like RF cards and stuff. So maybe he could come up with a system where they could sort of slap a sensor on the back gate and they could get in and go that route or something like that. But that's the hope. So part of the renovations is to do that. And by the way, I should say thank you to a bunch of patrons, by the way, because there was a bunch of patrons who came in recently and helped out, and it's just it's nice timing, I must say. So
Nice.
but it's okay because I've got a plan for us to make millions of dollars, Gimpy G.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
noticed.
it'll be us playing Magic the Gathering, but that's beside the point.
Well,
Don't you
do
think
what
we
you
should
love.
play?
Okay.
We should play Magic the Gathering, and we should just get sponsored by ideally
Like Wizards. Yeah.
well, that would be ideal. But I think the problem is they got better talent out there that they can get. But I'm thinking maybe
Right.
just like a local store or something. Or
I can see it.
I talked to my local store. We sell cards as well.
I saw
Oh,
you like bring
David.
that up to Barton at least.
Yeah, that's I was talking to Barclays about it. Yeah, so what do you say, Wolf Pup?
You're talking about Magic the Gathering, and it just wanted me to say this.
Yes.
Near me, like not really like right beside my house or
Mm.
anything, but like in the natural area of me, there is a place called Gamezilla.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds
You can
awesome.
you can order like a ton of Magic the Gathering cards, and you can choose like, I want this Magic the Gathering card.
Oh, so you can order singles?
Yeah.
That's what they call it, where you just order the actual card you want. Have you started playing that game yet? I think you'd like that game. Because talk about critical thinking and stuff. Like it's kind of like more complicated than chess. And it's just
There's more possible moves, yeah.
and the artwork's cooler, except unless you're
I'm
doing
getting
New
more
Japan on
into
this.
Dungeons and Dragons. Like that's one of my most
Th-
things that isn't a video game right now.
I think what's nice about Dungeons and Dragons is that it's way more creative. What's nice about
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering is that it's easier to just on a whim go in and play a game. It's hard, like Dungeons and Dragons is very hard to play by yourself or when you can't get everyone together. Look at us. We played like one game. It's taken like 6 months to get back together again. I don't even know when we're doing another game. You know what I mean? But and there's a mechanic in one of the cards, one of the sets of cards. What's it called? Something that maybe it's Return to the Dungeon or I can't remember what it's called. There's like a D&D
Delve.
version.
Oh, delve into the dungeon.
Is that what it is? Delve into the dungeon? Yeah. But no, if you're going to spend time on D&D because that's the most creative you could possibly. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're writing books and
I have
stuff.
started creating a campaign. It basically starts off in a prison
Sweet.
where then a riot happens, they escape, so they can't really go into towns without like a disguise.
Oh, smart. Does the campaign start in the prison?
Yeah, so they have to make like a backstory of why they're in prison.
Ooh. Why are you in
But
prison?
then-
Why would you be in prison, Wolfpa?
Yeah.
I actually made a character for my friend, so I'm gonna say why they would be in prison.
Okay, all right, go, yeah.
They were thrown directly into a police station.
Like through a wall.
Yes, like
Like
they were
as a
thrown.
weapon, they were like the cannonball that hit the station.
Yeah, my friend, they are a 3-foot dragonborn that is 200 pounds named Gurk.
Nice.
So someone flung Girk through a police station, and then he stayed there, or she stayed there.
He just got stuck in the wall, and the cops are just like, "Well, you're arrested now."
All right, that's great. That's a great. See, that's creativity right there. And I'm
like
guessing, if you're doing dungeon mastering, that's critical thinking too, isn't it? Because you're basically you're getting all the information from your. Is it more creativity? It's more creativity, isn't it?
Creativity.
Yeah, I feel like it would be more creativity.
But you still have to know the mechanics of the game. Like you still need to know all the rules
True.
to help to make that happen.
Did you play when you were young, David?
I will get this. I was such a loser that I had no one to play with, so I used to program my
Neither.
Commodore 64 to be my dungeon master for me. I had to do it would do random. It would randomly generate numbers and then pull chunks of text that I would have copied from from Dungeon Master books and stuff. And so I mean, it was so lame. It didn't work, but it was. And like an idiot, I never thought of selling it or anything. I just I literally created a basic program that would generate random numbers, pull up rooms, would randomize the beasts that would come at me, and I would play Dungeons and Dragons by myself with my Commodore 64. That's how sad I am. So Wolfpop, consider yourself lucky. At least you have friends. I had friends. I was just too embarrassed to ask them to play Dungeons and Dragons. Also, I like being by myself, so I think I prefer the company of computers for the most part.
I've just been drawing the beholder in class, and then I asked my friend if
the beholder is
beholder
awesome. That's the big. Isn't that the big ball with the eyes and with the giant eyeball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the bunch of different eyes coming off of him.
Oh, that's right. Doesn't he have like arms with eyes or something as well? That is a pretty awesome creature, I gotta say.
China.
Was that Big Trouble in Little China? Was there a beholder in that?
Well, yeah. It was in the sewer. And they shot it in the eye, but they couldn't kill it, and it just went near them and spun away.
I can't remember that at all. I haven't seen that forever.
That's one of the greatest movies of all time.
I'll tell you what one of the greatest movies of all time is. Jojo Rabbit. We watched it the other day.
Yeah.
We watched it the other day. I'd watched it before.
Fantastic.
There is no better movie about Hitler. There's no better movie that has Hitler in it than Jojo Rabbit. And it's
I'll go one further. There has never been a more whimsical Holocaust movie in ever.
Well, did you ever see Life is Beautiful?
No, I just want to say I don't
It's
think
whimsical?
What was that?
I don't feel like the Holocaust should be whimsical. It was like thousands of Jewish people getting murdered.
Millions, in fact.
It was
millions.
That's what makes it so genius, dude. If you see it, it's wonderful.
When comedy and politics mix, and if it's done in a creative way, you can make a far more powerful anti-war, anti-hate story than if it's all serious. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think.
Have you seen Jojo Rabbit? Have you seen Jojo Rabbit, Wolfpup?
No.
Do me a favor. I'd sit down with the family and watch that. Oops, what's that? That's our doorbell.
What's it rated, dude?
I'm checking. Well, Wolfpup's smart. He can figure it out. I mean, Wolfpup's watching stuff that's way beyond him, anyways. But that's my son at the door. Wonder if my wife will get that.
Hey, Beth. You locked your son out of the house.
I try to as much as possible. He's trying to get in the window. Okay, I don't hear my wife coming, so I think what I'm going to have to do is run up and get him. So, do you mind, Gippy G? Do you mind taking it for a bit?
Not at
all. All right.
Okay, so one thing I messed up when I was a kid playing D&D is I thought it was my job to kill everybody.
No.
Like set up traps. Yeah, I know. Okay, so you're already smarter than me.
I just want to say what I want to do is I want to have a guy following them because they're up in like a snowy area. So just envision this in your head. Why did I say a big word about that?
I don't know, but I like it. Envision. Go ahead.
think about this in your head. Like, you're in this large snowy area. You don't know where you are. You don't have any maps. And you just turn around and you just see a guy in like a black robe following you with this ominous purple weapon.
Ooh, what kind of weapon?
It's gonna be like a sword that is going to. I'm gonna make it so it's fair. It one shots, but it doesn't fully kill them. If they see it and try to attack them, it one shots them, but like they heal back over time. So like if it party kills, then everybody comes back.
Oh, that's
But like
interesting. Is
that's
he a
the
Grim Reaper, maybe?
that's the big bad evil guy. Through
Okay.
the I feel like I'm gonna make it so through the campaign he starts weakening and he's gonna be like the final boss type guy.
Whoa. Have you looked through the monster manuals and things?
No, I'm actually doing it with like homebrew rules.
Just completely. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait a
like
sec,
if I want
homebrew? Are you making your own beer?
no
No, he's
homebrew
making hooch.
D&D rules.
White lightning.
You're using homebrew rules for D&D?
Yeah, like I'm not using monster manuals or
Nah,
anything.
that's
Like,
smart. That's smart. I wouldn't get
I'm
caught up
gonna
in that.
I'm
Not
gonna
not
have
to start.
jumping elephants that can go 9 feet high.
That's great. I mean, that's the point of it, right? I mean, that's absolutely the point of it.
I just want to
Right.
say that's actually legal in 5e.
Is it?
Yeah, elephants have 22 strength, and the jumping is set up on your strength, so elephants can jump very high.
This is a
Are
game.
they? So they're
You're gonna have to
kangaroo
record this.
elephants?
You're gonna have to record this game or something because it sounds amazing. No argument there. Hits the family money, not. Oh, I see. So we're going back and forth on this. What's so funny about Elon Musk is that it really polarizes people. I find there are some people who are
Well, he
huge
had
Elon Musk
tons of
fans.
money to start with. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like what they're jade like miners in
I
South
think they
Africa.
might have been blood diamond
I mean,
connections too.
it's pretty dodgy in that
South Africa.
it's South Africa. I mean, like, good God, I was there after apartheid, and it was still pretty creepy. You know,
Did you see his mom? She looks like, if they ever do, like, recast Hitler as a woman, I'm just saying. Okay, so.
oh, John P7. No, I haven't tried to print that minifigure. That reminds me, I should do that. John P7 actually designed a D&D figure for me that I could 3D print of my yeah.
Could you print dice too?
Yeah.
Like real cool.
I tried doing dice, but I'll tell you the thing about dice is that's a good point. You're right, Gimpy G. I should buy a resin printer. Because
yeah,
because
I saw one. Oh.
yeah, the resin printer would allow you to do dice, but using the filament stuff is tough. Certainly I've has anyone had any success doing this? Has anyone had any success printing dye on their printer? I tried one, but the problem was I just found that it was like the one that's sitting on the actual bed. I was lovely and flat, but all the rest of them were just a little bit wonky. You know what I mean? So,
Huh.
that
Do
is
you
a
have
Stargate
resin
microphone.
printer? I saw
No,
one-
but I'm thinking
one
about it. I'm
called-
thinking about it.
What's name something? Because I saw one called
Prusa.
Any something.
There's
Damn, it
Prusa.
was really neat.
Prusa has one that it also comes with a little curing thing as well. Like it has a
Yeah, it's like a set. Yeah.
that looks so good. I gotta say.
It
Plus,
was a really neat one.
I could only buy Prusa right now because I think talk about brilliant, smart business people with a conscience. That Josef Prusa is the man. He's just amazing. He did so much during COVID. He looked after his people in his warehouses, and then he went on to look after the people in his country as well. I mean, he's just
Well,
a
then we
good.
gotta support that.
He's a good guy. Yeah, so go check that out.
You
I
know
would
what
kill
the
for an Elgu.
resolution of his light
No,
curing is?
let's find out. Let's go find out.
Because I saw the one I was looking at had a 4K.
What does that
Plus
even mean?
pure.
I know what is I don't know what that even means.
Well, okay, it's okay. The resin hardens when exposed to light, correct?
Right. Yeah.
So they basically put a monochrome or black and white, if you want to say,
Mm.
little LCD panel right up to the resin, right? And
Mm.
that's how it starts to grow. It hardens it layer by layer.
Right.
So
As
the higher
opposed to
the
having to print it.
resolution,
Oop, that's the wrong thing. That's not what I want.
correct. And the higher the resolution of the LCD panel, the more detailed, the more minute your adjustments or not detail. What would it be? I guess detailed can be.
So this is the Prusa's one. It is a.
Doctor got it right. Doctor.
That's what I want, by the way. I want the original SL1S Speed 3D printer and CW1S bundle. That's what I want. And it's kind of stinky, so it's perfect for the garage. Although I'm a little worried about the yeah, see, look at this. So so it would take me an hour and 15 minutes to print one of those little towers. It would take me an hour and 15 minutes to print however many there are. 12 there. You know, is it 12? What is it? Three times? Was it 5? 15. 15 of them. Same time. That's awesome. But let me see the resolution. The resolution is, it's a 5.96 inch monochrome LCD with a physical resolution of 2560 by 1620. I don't know how that adds up to.
Oh, so
is that not as? That's not as
4K, but that's okay.
It's not 4K.
It's like 38 by.
There are ones that there are higher resolutions than that. Seriously. Let's have a look here. What was someone was talking about the Elgoo, the Elgoo official site? Oh, I've seen good things. Yeah, I've seen some good reviews on these things. What do you say? It was the Ultra 4K. Whoa, there you go.
There you go.
Here we go. We're looking it up. Look it up. What does that even mean? Okay, so let's see what their resolution is. Specs, technical. Stop flashing stuff at me. Technical specs. Here we go. Where's the resolution? Am I missing it? Am I not seeing it? Here you go. XY resolution, 4098 by 2560.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
That seems pretty damn good. Does anyone know? Like, what do people think? My boss was talking recently about the Elgoo. I would say, Captain Catherine, you should just tell your boss to get it, because then you can play with it and you can like do all your little D&D characters. It's brilliant.
You can get your bicycle, put it on the back, and steal it.
Mm. Oh, hey, Wolf Pup. Have you thought about using Tailspire? That online thing that we were using with...
That's really expensive. I thought of it, but that's like 30 or 40 bucks.
Like, to own it? Maybe we could get a TechBandits, like, membership that you could use. Would that help?
It would have to be a Steam account.
Oh, really? So if we had a TechBandits Steam account, then I would just give you the login and you could use it?
Yeah, but I don't think Steam allows sharing.
Doesn't it?
Whatever. But they don't know
what Steam doesn't know. Steam. I mean, I think they'd be okay in the fact that it's like, it's promoting creativity and and critical thinking.
Exactly.
Even though I don't know, even though I just added that for no reason at all.
Our world's children.
I have 4K. It's amazing. 2K is where the budget is. I'm so over 1080. Now we talking about. I didn't even realize that they used the same terms for 3D printing, but I guess it makes sense as you're saying that for the resin, because the image on the resin, of course, relates to directly how much resolution the printer's gonna be able to do. I have such a hard time painting. When I get a house, eventually, multicolor resin printer, LOL. Okay, 3D printer work, Ultimaker, big, not big. I would want big.
Got it.
Like, I'm sorry, but I want one that I want to be able to print like a helmet. That's what I want to be able to do. Are there ones that could do that?
Like make you a helmet?
Yeah. When you want to like print, like I want to resin print a freaking helmet.
That would be so cool.
I want it to be big enough to put on my head, whatever I print.
For your head or an average human?
Well, my head when I'm feeling a little low, so it's a little smaller than normal. This coming from like the big-headed Gimpy G, that
I have an enormous head.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's true.
I weigh 95 pounds and like at least 60.
Like 90 of it. 90 of it is actually his head.
Yeah, 90. It's true.
Yeah, giant resin helmet. That's what I want. A giant resin helmet. I assemble the multi-piece models all the time. Yeah, so that's true. I should be. That's what I should be doing. But it's just like I had this amazing print that the Steam Sisters did. Actually, let me grab it. I'll grab it. Back one sec.
The Steam Sisters? It
What?
sounds like some kind of dance group from the 20s.
It's true. It does sound. Yeah, it's a bit like no, they're amazing. They are. Do I mean the Steam Sisters? STEM sisters? No, Steam Sisters. They are. They're like this. They're a couple scientists. They did a lot of research into brain injury because their favorite hockey player had a concussion. I believe died of it. So they started looking into. They started putting their. Well, there you go. Critical thinking. They tried to come up with a way of stopping people from dying from head injuries, and they got to a point in their exploration of this of what was out there, the science out there behind brain injuries, and they went, wait a second, the problem is not trying to stop is not how do we protect people from brain injuries, we need to stop brain injuries. So they then switched to a political track where they started advising the government on things that they should be putting out there to people about brain injuries. So they went from the science to the politics, and then of course they could back up their politics with all of the science. They're brilliant.
Okay.
And they're incredibly enthusiastic about science, and they're just amazing science communicators. But they.
Do you know much about hockey as a Canadian?
They do. I don't.
You don't. Okay.
It's a sport. Anything that involves. You know what I'm like.
Yeah.
I consider Magic the Gathering about as much exercise as I'm going to get. So this was kind of cool. This is it looks like just a normal, what is it called? Triceratops. But do I mean Triceratops? Have I got that right? Yes. I've got like COVID brain. But this print is actually from a plaster mold of a very new type of fossil that they found out in the Badlands in Alberta, I believe, in Canada.
Cool.
And the Steam Sisters went and visited and learned how they pulled fossils out of the ground. They did a little video on it. I'll put a link. I'll get a link for you. But they gave me the 3D model, so I split it and I printed it out. But there's so much cleanup involved in trying to put it together, if you can see. But this is a non-resin printer, and it's still amazing the detail you get.
That is really good.
Isn't that nice?
Are you able to make large pieces hollow? Because Krillin64 was in chat was saying a resin helmet would be heavy as heck.
Oh, would
so
it?
I wonder if you could make. Well, I imagine if the thick parts were pure resin, yeah.
Part of the cleanup for this is that when you print it, there are pieces that need supports, right? Otherwise, that would just you can't print in the middle of nowhere. So you could do hollow, but it would be hollow in that it would have supports built in, and then you have to cut out all of that, if that makes sense.
Or can you honeycomb like? If you have
you can choose whatever percentage of I think this was, I can't remember what this was, like 15% infill or something, like where it's like basically it honeycombs it because you don't want to have to layer down each. I mean, maybe for some stuff, but I didn't want to lay down a layer of plastic for each one because it just takes forever.
It'd be a big old heavy chunk of plastic. Yeah.
Well, which is cool, except that it also just takes freaking ever, right? So. Well, if you, Wolfpup, if you want me to look into that D&D thing, let me know and I'll have a look because that's what the Tech Bandits money is for, right? Is to keeping you creative and stuff. Just you personally. That's all.
Captain Catherine's right.
What did she say?
If she had a giant resin printer, she would make action figures.
I don't need to print my own action figures because I already have my own action figures.
He does. With Kung Fu grip.
Yep. Well, I call them in-action figures. My joke is that mine should just get fatter the longer you own them. Like fatter and balder as we go along.
So we put it in water and it's like they just swell over.
You don't even need to put them in water. I think they should just swell just from like ambient moisture. So Captain Catherine has the Rodney action figure. Apparently they're hard to get a hold of now. I feel like an idiot because I had a crate of them and I gave them to everybody. I gave them away I'd like see someone on the street and go like, "Hey, you want my action figure?" I'd be like so bad about giving them away. So now I only have like a couple of my own. Yeah. If you want possible figures, FDM is better as the snap together joints don't work. Oh, was that interesting?
That'd be very creepy if someone just came over to me and was just like, "Hey, want an action figure of me?"
What's creepy about that? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wait a sec, Wolfpup, wouldn't you love an action figure of me?
No.
Yes, you're right. It would be creepy if some old guy came up to you and said, "Hey, you want an action figure of me?" Yeah, probably bad choice. Bad choice.
We created an action figure of me with, you know, Timmy from South Park.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I put like glasses. My old glasses are on him, and my hat.
Well, dude,
I just
we
saw
should
something.
we
I
should
hope you
totally
get
do a
it to
3D print
fire.
of that.
Timmy.
We could do a 3D print of that, or a Funko Pop of some
Awesome.
sort. You could take like a Funko Pop of like Dr. Xavier or whatever it is, Professor Xavier, and then just like add your head somehow. You could actually wait a second. You know what?
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to send you. Do you have an iPhone? Does someone have an iPhone there?
Trenton does.
Okay. Do you know what version of iPhone he has?
New-ish.
Oh,
12, I think.
Fancy him. How nice for him. Well, okay, so the 12, I think, has the LiDAR on it. I think it's the 12. You can actually scan with...
Okay.
So you should scan your head, or get him to scan your head, and then send me the file, and I'll print it up. And then I can just make fun of you, like, and have you right there. It's perfect.
Now, would you be able to scale my head size back so it actually is in the proper...
I can make it proportional to your body. Yeah.
Oh,
So
no,
what?
for a Funko Pop.
Oh, for a Funko Pop.
I feel like my head...
You wouldn't
head's
have to
too
size it up. You wouldn't have to size it up, I
No,
think.
see, I feel like you'd have to size it down.
You have to size it down to
feel
make
like
it fit for a Funko Pop.
naturally, yes.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because my head's so ridiculously huge
I think you should
in
leave it like
comparison
that.
to my body.
It's like the body just crumbles under its weight when you try to, maybe that's why I never caught on. But I
Gravity
love the idea.
included.
Yeah, gravity just destroys the bottom, the body of it. Although you can have like the chair and stuff, right? You'll have the chair and stuff.
Oh my God! If I could have Putin pecs.
Putin pecs. There you go. See, another 3D print. Does anyone have any experience with the resin printing? I'm just curious to know. Like while we're talking about it, I'd love to know. Someone said it was pretty stinky. That I'd want to do it in the garage.
It is pretty stinky.
Have you done it? Have you done resin printing?
I think you should put a vent in the garage too.
There is a vent. It's called a giant hole. This is the problem. This is why I'm getting. That's why I'm getting it done. I'm getting the garage done because the.
Oh no! Am I here still?
Yeah, still there. Yep, we can hear you. You can't hear us?
Okay.
We can hear you
I can,
for sure.
I can.
Okay, so it stinks to high heaven and the fumes are toxic. Oh, great. Okay, so
So
I.
like a big air exchange.
Wait, the
That way you're
fumes are
really
toxic?
pulling it out.
Okay, so that's good. I could do that. Separate building, yes. Everyone says separate building. I used a UV printer. It's stinky. Okay, yeah, all right. So perfect. Then it's a garage. But it's worse than Huzzah farts? Oh, that's awful. Because Huzzah, yeah. Huzzah won't eat her
Does that
food.
person actually know how far?
Well, she's seen me react to it, so chances are, it's pretty toxic. She's watched the paint come off the wall while that dog is, yeah. It also depends on the resin brand.
So
Wait a second. But is this technology, like, this is my other concern, is I'm worried that there are going to be landfills filled of, like, failed 3D prints. And that we're going to just, like, destroy the planet with our little action figures that we're making out of resin prints. But Wolfpup, did you say you knew that it was stinky? Like, have you played with resin printers?
No, my dad has a resin printer.
And?
It's pretty stinky. It's only really stinky when it's open. It's not like...
Oh, I see. So it's not stinky when it's all closed up and running. It's just stinky when you open it up to take out the print.
Yeah.
So where does he put it?
In the basement.
Oh, it's in the basement. Okay, all right. And does he have like ventilation and stuff down there? Did he have to set up anything specific for it?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's not like gonna kill you or anything. It's just like it just smells horrible.
Yeah, it just smells bad when it's...
Okay. I mean, I have this rather silly setup that I have, which I had to set up because I was using Jane's hot pot to sterilize old coffee grounds so I could use them for breeding my psyllium, and she came down one day and she's like I can't. She goes, that smell is like it's in my brain, and she goes, I just want to be sick all the time. And of course I had COVID, so I didn't notice the smell at all. And then Baz came down. He's like, "Oh my God, something died or like whatever." And I was like, "No, it's just okay, it's fine." So I moved the hot pot down to the basement, and I set up a little fan system that just sucked everything outside, and it's great. It was an inline fan system that I was supposed to use for some HVAC stuff that we never got done. So I just used that. It's been amazing. And then I was using it the other way to blow filtered air while I was doing some little cuttings of the mycelium. Right? You're supposed to have a thing called a laminar flow hood. You're supposed to have this thing that blows pristine air over things. So basically, if anything tries to land on your Petri dishes or whatever. Yeah.
You're trying to keep a sterile environment, right?
Exactly, yeah. And it's called laminar flow, which is kind of cool, which mine is not laminar in any way. It's just a giant freaking fan. So it's basically creating eddies and probably causing all sorts of problems. But the idea behind a laminar flow is that it's basically like a wall of air that just pushes. There are no eddies, there's no current. It's just a straight out stream of air to stop things from landing. Like, whenever you see like those science movies and there's like someone's working in a lab and they're in like one of those, it looks like they're sitting in a fan. That's the laminar flow hoods.
And there's a monkey with two heads. Yeah, I saw that.
Exactly. You could make black market Rodneys and sell them on eBay. Yeah, that's a really good idea actually. And I would probably sell 3 or 4 of them. Those Gimpy G dolls will sell though.
Those
Yeah,
are crazy.
for sure. Especially once we start playing Magic the Gathering on a regular basis. In fact, oh my God, that's what we should do. We should create like a Gimpy G figure, and then you stick my head in your chest. And that's our Magic the Gathering logo. That's our logo.
Oh, what if we did, Ratatouille? You know how the rats
Oh my God, Ratatouille, that's perfect. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God.
You have like me on top of your skull driving you.
Except that your head's so big that your head would be bigger than mine, even if it was smaller on my head.
Yeah. Right. Even proportionally.
It's not gonna fit in. It's not gonna fit in the image, Gimpy G.
We're just gonna have to go creative and make it look right. Okay?
I like that. I'm gonna play with that. I like that idea. Although you can get your nephew on it as well, because he's already done some good logos for you. It does sound kind of disturbing. It's true, because it is, to be honest. So what was I going to say? Okay, so there's that. There's the. Let's see if there's any more topics I'm going to talk on before I completely fade out. I'm still operating at like 90%. I still feel like I'm not
90, but do you think it's 90?
Is it 95? Or are you thinking more like 40?
I'm thinking 75.
Really? I do feel like I fade much faster than I used to. But maybe I'm just getting old. It's possible too, right?
No, it's not old. It happened in the last, I'm going to say 3 or 4 weeks.
Like literally, isn't it? Like it's literally since COVID, I've definitely struggled to keep my energy levels up, which is weird.
It's more than that too. You search for words more than you did.
No, really? Oh God,
no, true.
I'm COVID stupid. Maybe that's the problem.
No, you're not COVID stupid, but there's like, okay, this weekend you said when I was beating you up in Magic.
I don't remember that at all.
You were like a paralyzed rat, and I was a mouse attacking you, and it's like that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's true. I don't make sense a lot of the time, to be honest. I mean,
no, I just noticed it. I'm just saying.
But no, I would definitely. I have to agree. I definitely have long COVID, and it's bizarre. Like it's sometimes it's subtle, and sometimes it's just like being hit on the head with a hammer. Like some days I just feel it. Other days I got nothing. So
I think you're improving though too. I noticed it was really bad. Now it seems to be on the other side.
I'm also overcompensating with caffeine. Like I'm having to drink a lot more coffee, and as a result, I sleep like nothing at night. Because I
got your shoulders too, though, buddy.
And then there's the shoulders. Don't even start me on that. What number is that, Wolf Pup? I think
I brought him up.
I think I've mentioned it twice. 3 times, maybe? 3 times a lady. Okay, all right, we got it. Maybe COVID caused the energy drop off to be exponential. Ooh, someone's getting all fancy. See how easily confused I am? Okay, there's a couple little sciencey thing I wanted to talk about. We've talked about Obi. Are there alternatives to Obi? This Obi robot thing? I mean, are there any other ones out there? There must be.
How did you find that, dude?
Honestly, this is the funny thing. Like I met, for those who don't know, I met Gimpy G because Gimpy G was asking about assistive tech on Barnacules' channel of all things, and Barnacules, weirdly, who knows everything about everything, for some reason it wasn't really his area of expertise. And I happened to be on that tech talk, and I was like, oh my God, I've always loved assistive tech. If I could be fed with a robot, I would do that in a second. I don't know why. It's just something that's always fascinated me. That intersection between sort of like human and machine is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I tend to end up talking to a lot of people with disabilities because the disabilities require them to make use of technologies in ways that perhaps aren't ideal or that that are sort of cutting edge in some ways. So that stuff's fascinating to me. Also, we got to keep in mind that eventually we're all going to be disabled, right? I mean, eventually age will get us to a point where in some way, shape, or form, whether it's intellectual, whether it's going to be our brains or our bodies, they will deteriorate to a point where we're all going to require some kind of assistive technology. So maybe it's just selfish. I'm just looking forward to that.
Well, see, and that makes you totally different. My mom actually had a theory that people were so hateful towards me because they saw their future in me.
Ooh.
In a way. Like
I just assumed it was your personality, but I could see that might be.
They didn't even know me, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't know me yet.
That's so weird, though.
Then you hate me. I get it.
I've only known the opposite of that, where people are like sickly sweet about it. Like I've never seen. Again, of course, I don't live with it, but I've only ever.
It's a Canadian thing.
I don't know. I mean, Canadians pretend to be nice, but I don't know if we really are. But yeah, I guess we've got a lot more social programs, perhaps. But you were saying your stories.
What people have you run into? Like, all right, the disabled people you run into are filling their niche. They're not stepping out of their. They're in their house. They're reaching out for tech. They're not trying to take somebody's job or.
I don't know. I think they are, but I feel like we have. I could be wrong. I mean, but the sense I get is that while flawed in many ways, I do feel like there is, although it does have the same issue that you have, this whole stupidity of like, if you earn more than $400, we're going to take away the hundreds of thousands worth of dollars worth of assistive care that you apparently, as long as you're poor, we're happy. As long as you're not looking after yourself in any way, we're happy to look after you. And that's, I think, definitely an issue here as well.
Captain Catherine's mom had cerebral palsy.
Oh, wow. And it was insane how nasty people were to her. Well, yeah. See, people don't know how to. That's a tough one because people don't know how to. They don't know what's going on, right? There's, and I think that it's, as always. This is why you want to like widen your horizons, to have a more diverse group of friends and understanding of the world, because unless you're talking to people in different situations all the time, you don't know, right? I've seen people walk into rooms and go like, oh my God, so-and-so's in a wheelchair. What do I do? You know what I mean? I've seen that. I've been that person in many cases, especially with Stargate. Like Stargate, when I go to conventions, I meet a lot of people, and sci-fi is a go-to genre for a lot of people with disabilities and mental health and LGBTQ. I mean, all sorts of diverse populations, understandably flock to science fiction, because science fiction is other worlds. It's escapist. It's in some cases it can herald futures that could exist. So, and at first it's like it as someone who's not used to that, I didn't know what.
Yeah.
Do I shake hands? Same thing with working on C, right?
Okay, what did you do with the shaking hands? I've run into this many times. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you. This is just from me to you, so that you are on top.
Okay.
You are the best in the world. Next time you do conventions, you see a person in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You run up. You undo all of their security fastenings. You pick them up and you swing them around and say "wee," like in a circle.
Oh dear God!
And that will create bonds.
I would be so in jail. Thank you, Gimpy G, for all of your help in this. Just to be very clear, Wolf Pup, this is not something you should do. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely.
Sharon's correct.
To be honest, I would say that I find it harder with mental health mental health related issues than like people who are who are sort of severely on the spectrum, or
Yeah.
that I find more difficult because I don't know how to. I'm just not around a lot of people in those situations. I'm happy to be, and one of the things I loved about going to McCordick before the pandemic was that McCordick was this school for kids with developmental and physical disabilities. It was wonderful because you learn how to react, how to to interact with people who have different
Right.
different stuff going on. But
There is an actual human reaction
hmm,
to certain deformities and things,
hmm,
like where you actually feel revulsion. And that's, if you think about it, if the evolution is a thing, then we should kind of see these certain things as unsavory, just like, food that's gone bad or something like that.
but
So I
why?
get
Because
that,
you
but I
think our
don't.
system, because we're instinctively thinking, oh my god, I don't want to catch whatever that is, or like
You
what?
don't want that, correct? Something
Hmm,
like that, like, yeah, if you don't know what's going on. But
hmm,
also familiarity helps. I think probably you. Well, if we haven't been around each other much.
hmm.
You probably
I'm staying
have a
as far away as
better
possible. Yeah.
view of me than I do. Like when I went on TV that one time and saw Dad pick me up, I had never seen that before,
Huh.
and I just like all my heart sunk, and I was like, oh my god, I look like that.
What do you
Oh,
mean? What? Because you've never seen your full physical.
like yeah,
Huh.
like I never, yeah, like Dad picked me up, my arms are all floppy, and he
Hmm.
asked, had to like hold me just right.
Hmm.
It was just whoa, it freaked me out.
Weird. And you'd never like you just something you'd never considered
No
before.
way.
How old were you at that point?
38.
Really? Wow.
Hey, we got somebody with uh SMA
Oh
that's
yeah.
like our age, dude.
Really? Who? Where?
Saren
54.
Mithsarn.
Sarah Mithsarn, disabled with SMA from birth, long history of people being awful to me. Really? Of course, not everyone.
Boy,
Really? So you
high
got the
five,
same?
Saren. Love you, dude. Or
Really?
dudette. I don't think you're a dudette because
I
there's
also
so
think some
few
people see
people with
disability
SMA.
as a memento mori, reminder of mortality. Huh. I guess so. I mean,
Dude,
huh.
Saren, I like you.
Dudette.
You're no wait, you're a
Dudette.
dudette?
Well,
Oh my gosh, you are amazing. I've never met a gal with muscular dystrophy, and
really?
that's like even. Have you seen any?
Listen, is it? I mean,
It's
is there some kind of?
primarily male. Yeah, it's
Like the
definitely,
condition basically affects mainly males.
yeah.
And what about?
Saren is like
Oh,
a rare flower here.
huh. Um. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Saren,
Yeah.
my Twitter is Gimpy God. I'd absolutely love to speak with you sometime.
Hmm. I'll throw it in the chat. SMA is about 60% male. Wow.
Well, then where are the rest of you?
Um.
I'm 52, and I've never.
Well,
I went
Q's
to
got SMA
MD
too.
camp.
Isn't Q's
Correct,
SMA
like
as well, right?
SMA 2 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Why can I not find this? Okay. Uh, that's interesting. So people are jerks to you too, Saren. That's interesting. I
Well,
just
she might be that age group. We were dicks back then, bro.
Oh, that's true. That is true. We didn't like that's like we didn't know. I mean, we should have known, but we maybe we didn't have to know is the problem. Okay.
Yeah,
Saren Smith Sarn. Okay, I'm gonna put. All right. Do you, Gimpy G, you don't mind if I share your Twitter, right?
not at all.
We should have like this should be one of those bot things that I can just click in there, as well. What the heck?
Well, I hear you, Corin Horn, but there are just like what would you say? Let's say sickle cell anemia mostly affects African Americans or Africans. Period. Uh,
Is that right?
Muscular dystrophy is a similar thing in that it follows the male genome more. So I mean, we could look it up, but I believe
Is
if it's even 60%, I'd be amazed.
okay? This is Gimpy G on on Twitter. I'm just popping it in the chat right now. And there you go. In fact, everyone should just follow Gimpy because frankly, he's far more interesting than I am.
No.
So I'm curious though. Is it what are the stats on SMA? I mean, is it
that's
predominantly
what
white?
you're
Is
saying.
it predominantly male? So it's predominantly male. But is that because? So the next question is that because because males have been selected to survive it, or what? I mean, are there reasons behind? Are there like societal reasons behind this stuff as well?
I don't know, dude. I've been to muscular dystrophy clinics. I mean, literally. I mean, Saren's. Wow. I don't know. I've never met someone like you, Saren.
Oh, there you go.
So-
Well, Saren knows a lot of female SMA peeps.
I know of one other. Her brother is a professional football player. Simmons. He plays for the Broncos. He's a safety. And the only reason I know that is because his little sister has SMA and is black. So that would make her super duper rare.
Oh, really? Like, because
I have to go.
oh, you out of here? Well, thank you for lurking, buddy.
Is that bad? Hey, Baz the burglar?
No, that was
Oh, Jefferson.
Jefferson.
My bad.
Yeah. Hey, Bag of Chips is here.
Hi.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Nah.
Oh my God, I'm not buying that at all.
You don't sound good. You sound grumpy as all hell, Bag of Chips.
Good. Fine.
You doing all right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
What
cool.
are you
With
playing?
Red Dead Redemption.
I knew it. Is that on the Xbox thing?
No.
Did Baz talk you into getting the Xbox Live or whatever it's called?
Very much want it. Yes.
Yeah.
There you are, Sam. I got my Twitter.
He's
Corin, I'd talk Broncos with you if you're on Twitter. Sorry, guys.
oh God, sports? Okay, there's no sports
No.
allowed. I don't think there's any sports allowed here. No. You
Dude,
guys talk
you
all
gotta
the
learn
sports
to
you
talk
want. I
to
just
me.
won't understand a word of it. I'm like the least sporty person ever.
I have two.
Really? You strike me as a linebacker /
Really? I know.
strong man kind
I
of
look tough.
enforcer.
I
I
look
don't know
tough.
what those words mean.
Yeah, exactly. Sports. You're like your sport is D&D. Actually, do you do sports? Five Pup? Do you do a lot of like physical stuff as a physical exercise and stuff as well?
I do not.
Do you not?
I do not.
I do not. I always moved a lot, if that makes sense. Like I'm not very good at sitting still. Even when I'm sitting still, I feel like in my head I'm moving around a lot. But sports folks were always very kind to me, and that they said like he's very good at running to the ball. But I was never very good. Once I got there, I was never. I'd like trip over the ball. I would put it in the wrong goal. I was, yeah. Sports ball. Yeah, exactly.
One of our subscribers, Jack and Dar, he said you'd be a great goalie, and I think I'm reading his mind here, but he's saying to you that because of your girth, there would probably be very little goal exposed.
This is the problem: is that we were literally talking about this last night with my brother-in-law, and he is he a brother-in-law? Am I allowed to say that, Kate? I'm not sure what the deal is. Anyways, the child's father. So, and I was saying that my problem with being a goalie of any sort was because I broke my leg when I was in high school really well. And so they were like, oh great, well he's got a broken leg, so put him in goal. So I was the goalie in soccer, I was the goalie in ball hockey, and even then I sucked because what I was always trying to do was not get hit. So basically, I was like, they'd come at me and I'd be like this, and everyone would be like, oh look, he's trying to stop the ball. No, I was trying to not get hit by the ball. So basically, I was the worst, absolute worst at that. They tried to make me a goalie in soccer, and I sucked at that too. I love the idea of being good at. I used to like tennis every so often, but again, I don't have the attention span for it. I was like, oh look, squirrel, and then Also, I feel like I'm too. I like one of the things that I remember one of my tennis instructors saying. He said, the goal is not to hit the ball to the other person. it's to try to stop them from hitting it. But my instinct was always to try to get it to the other person, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so yeah. Anyways, all right.
You
I'm kind
seem
of.
to have a competitive
Oh,
streak in you, though.
I am very competitive, weirdly competitive about certain things, like the size of my head. I think my head is yeah.
So, like, if you're playing like Monopoly with Jane and you win, you're like in your
Oh God,
face,
yeah.
and then you,
Oh
like,
yeah.
throw
No.
money and stuff.
I am the worst loser, and I am the worst, but I'm an even worse winner. Yeah, I think my family would prefer that I just lost because absolutely. I got competitive with Baz when he was like 2 years old because he used to beat me at the memory game. You know, with those ones where you flip over
What?
tiles? He would beat
Yeah.
me at the memory game because he could remember stuff, and I, be having the attention span of a newt, was unable to do that. So, yeah.
I was teaching at summer school, even when I was like 17, 18, at the high school.
Yeah.
And there were, the kids are like 13, 14, and the teacher's like, "Oh, how come you don't let them?" It's like a computer smart game, like where you're figuring stuff out. And I crush them. And he goes, "Well, shouldn't you let them win? Give them confidence." And I just, it's like he's speaking some foreign language.
Yeah.
I didn't even get it.
Why would I do that?
I still don't get. Let them win.
I told people I let him win, but the reality is he was crushing me from like age 3 on in most cases. Look, Magic the Gathering, I'd be curious to know what he's like playing you in Magic the Gathering because, well, although he hasn't played for a while, but when he was playing, he's on, man. He knows, he can remember crap, Bag of chips. Do you think Baz is competitive? Would you say Baz is a competitive soul?
Yes.
Really? Yes. Well, Lord Chunky, by the way, hello. Lord Chunky, you're competitive too, though, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, because, by the way, I'm looking at your bike right now.
You got your bike,
right now? Like a picture?
Is that the bike?
Stole it.
Did you buy that bike, or was that just showing me a picture of a bike you wanted to get?
Of which bike?
The Marin?
Oh, yeah, that's my bike.
Oh, baby. That is a pretty freaking bike.
I get what he was doing there.
Okay, let me see if I can do this.
He was humble bragging right there. He's like,
there was no
bike
humble.
is
There
that
was no
big?"
humble there. Come on.
I'm sorry, I didn't send you any bike. Oh, that bike.
Oh, that bike. How did that get in there?
That one.
How did that bike get in there? I don't know. I have no idea. Let me see if I can share it with. Do you mind if I share it with people?
Sure. Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see. We go.
And combination to his lock key.
Yeah, and this is his address if you want to go and steal it. All right, here we go.
Basement.
Look at this baby right here. Look at that. Is there a way to
Well,
zoom
now I'm
in?
going to have to let my Twitter play.
I wonder if I can actually bring it up better. Why won't that show? I want to show that picture, that image, not the other one. I want the unknown. Okay. I'm still getting used to being back on this. I got to say, I told you, Gimpy G, that I'm back on Streamlabs, right? Because of you, right?
Yeah, I think. Oh, I see it. Oh, my.
It's pretty, huh? Oh, look at that. There's a way better picture right there. Check that out. Look at that. Dude, that is an impressive bike, I got to say. Is it like all shocks and stuff? Like, so you don't feel the ground as much? And
yeah, not too much, no.
And is that mainly for off-roading, or is that?
Yeah, off-roading, pretty much only.
Yeah, you don't even have any mud guards, isn't that? Aren't you just getting like slapped with
Mud
crap
flaps? Yeah,
all the time?
I might, but mud flaps are slow.
What?
What the heck's a jump catch?
A what?
Somebody in stream won 5 points from the jump catch game. I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what a jump catch game is either. Is that what's happening in our avatars? Holy crap! Have you seen how many avatars there are in there?
Oh, there they are.
It's insane. All right. So, Lord Chunky, are you doing races and stuff? I mean, like, what do you do with this thing, this beast?
What do I do with it? I
Do you
ride
steal
around
75
in the Don
inch
Valley.
TVs by chance?
Oh yeah, you missed that part. You missed that part about someone. So Captain Catherine, apparently someone robbed their office and stole a 75-inch television and tried to take off with it on their bicycle. although the fact is that Lord Chunky's bike could probably handle it.
No.
Yeah, where were
you'd
you
have to
that night,
how
Lord?
would you hold it though? That's
Exactly. Well, they didn't. Apparently, they failed. They failed, and I'm guessing they no longer have a 75-inch television. Although, wow, I would like a 75-inch television. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh no, she says there's video.
There is video?
Her boss posted the video.
Oh, come on. Oh, you
I
got to
want
share
so
that.
bad.
Captain Catherine, you got to share that at some point. Maybe in the Discord.
We
you
will
should
go
do that.
viral.
Oh, you don't think you're allowed to share that? Oh, okay. All right. That's no fun.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
strap it on your back
It's
and
okay.
go hang gliding. Yeah, that would work. It's big enough. 75-inch. Okay, so wait a second. Go back to the cycling. So do you have any? Are you collecting data while you do it? Do you have like a speedometer and all that kind of
I
stuff?
use Strava sometimes, but I don't use it every ride. I've
Use
only
what?
used
What's it called?
Strava.
What's Strava?
It's like an app you can track like biking and running with it.
And what? How? But how is it gauging that? Like, how is it getting? It's getting it just by.
GPS on your phone.
Oh, really? I'm surprised that there's not like sensors built into the. What's it? Is it a Marin or Marin? Or what? How do you say that? What's the?
You can get stuff, but that would just be like really expensive, and then you have to add like batteries and stuff too.
Wait, surely you could generate enough electricity just by. Well, I guess that's going to
but then
slow you
just add, like,
down.
a whole bunch more complexity. and weight,
Right. I'm trying to make a bicycle too complicated. I see what you're
He's
saying.
making it into a Tesla.
Tesla bike. They have some amazing electric bikes, by the way. Like there's some, yeah. I mean, the e-bike stuff is
Yeah.
amazing. I'm at that age
it's like
now.
an e-bike conversion, but they're like $3,000. So
Really?
I decided
Wow.
against it.
Have
But
you
it's a
seen the sports
conversion?
wheelchairs? Those are cool.
Yeah, you can get like engine that you like. It goes into like where the pedals are.
Right.
So
Oh,
then you
actually,
don't
it
have to buy a
replaces the.
separate e-bike.
Oh, and it replaces the pedals. You could still use it as a regular bike, or what's the?
Yep. Still
It
works as
doesn't
a regular
replace
bike.
Huh. The weight alone would crush a small elephant. That's true. 75-inch plasma. I thought he was talking about Gimpy's head for a second there, but no, it's talking about the 75-inch plasma again.
Oh no, yeah, plasma would be like 300-pound TV.
Lord Chunky, we were talking about resin printers. So I want to
I
fix
was
up.
there.
I want to fix. Oh, you heard that? I want to get.
I was here for a while.
I want to put the printers and stuff in the garage, and then you could just come by, hit the old. You and your dad come by and like print things and whatever you want or whatever. Like that's. I just feel like there's, because half the time they're just sitting there doing nothing. Right? It feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
You could be 3D printing things for your bike. Little things that you could put in the wheels that make the snappy noises while you're while you're cycling. I used all of my Star Wars cards, just so you know. I collected Star Wars cards when I was a kid. Like that was like one of the like trading cards, and all of them were stuck in the wheels of my bike. Because that's what we used to do. We used to put cards in the wheels. I used to like weave them like so they would make noise while you're going and stuff. So I've probably blown like $1,000 worth of Star Wars cards.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, just by sticking them in
Did
the
you
wheels
ever
of my bike.
see Kiss cards back in the same era?
Oh, Kiss. Yes, I was never into Kiss because I didn't have an older brother.
No, me either. But they're right next to each other, so I was like,
Oh, that's true.
"Wow."
I do remember them. Yeah, I remember. I also had Charlie's Angels cards. Yeah.
No.
Yep. I had a Jacqueline Smith.
You know what? I like them better now than I did then. I wasn't really girl crazy,
Really?
Well, I was a child, but yeah.
I was in love with their minds because they were brilliant detectives.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, because Farrah
Cheryl
Fawcett,
Ladd
nothing
is
says.
the
Yeah,
best with
that's
them.
it. Well, there was Farrah
Sorry,
Fawcett as
Cheryl
well,
Ladd.
though, right? I
Yeah, but-
I loved Jacqueline
ahead.
Smith because she just seemed the nicest of
Yes,
the bunch.
the dark-haired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Smart.
worked
She
with
was
Kate
the
Jackson.
smartest.
I worked with Kate Jackson,
No, you worked with Kate Jackson?
and I wish
She was always.
I wish I
think
hadn't.
about how pretty she is, and she was the ugly one.
Let me just tell
Very
you,
pretty, huh?
it was a very depressed. It was a very sad state of affairs. I'd have to say, I was very, very unimpressed with her. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
we'll talk about that.
It was a
when we come.
horrible, horrible experience. I think she was having a lot of problems, but it was it was
Okay.
not. I was
Okay.
very disappointed because, of course, I was a huge Charlie's Angels fan, so I was quite disappointed that the smart angel, as they had to refer to her because she wasn't Farrah Fawcett. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Let me see. There's a
Ray
couple of things we'll
Walston.
talk about.
We were talking about Ray Walston. That's what it was.
Ray Walston. Who's Ray
What
Walston? Why?
a prick.
Oh, that was my favorite Martian. Oh man,
Yeah.
he was a piece of work. Okay, let's see. There were a couple of little things here. Elon Musk patents. What else have I got
Captain
here?
Catherine thought Pamela Anderson was her mom.
Really?
That's what she said.
Okay, let me see what I've gotten here. Did I? Is that it? Is that all the things? I guess I've gone through all the news I had. Is that right? Really? I thought I had. There was one thing I did want to share, which was just freaking brilliant. Let me see if it's still up on my stream. It was a Twitter. Someone tweeted this, and I was just blown away. Oh, there's another robot, Moxie, overly eager to ship out to serve the frontline healthcare workers. There's all sorts of robotic stuff I'm getting today.
Neat.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can see that. There was a beautiful video of. Oh boy, there's another thing about trying to get Amber Heard removed from Aquaman. Oh my God, enough
I
already.
don't care. I mean, she's sure. Would I like to be married to her? Hell no. But can she be an Aquaman? Yeah.
I don't.
I don't care.
I feel like who's. Oh, the Russian ambassador to Poland was attacked while trying to lay a wreath at the cemetery of the Soviet soldiers. Holy crap!
Oh my.
Wow, is that his blood, or did someone just hit him with blood? Wow. Oof. Man.
Cut out the middleman, I say.
Let me see if I can find this thing. Oh, God, this is the problem with Twitter. It's just like it's like squirrel galore.
Yeah, it's like squirrel bait.
It's
right?
terrible. It's terrible. I have to force myself to. I go on now. I try to. I just try to bookmark the stuff that I'm gonna look at later because otherwise I just get lost. All right, let me see if I can find it. It was really just stunning. It was Saturn rising over the moon during some kind of an eclipse of some sort,
Ooh.
and it was from an Earth-based telescope. Like chances are, Wolf Pup could probably using a telescope. Wolf Pup, given where he is, could probably do this. But it is so beautiful. It was like it didn't. I thought it was fake because it was just like it just looked like an animation. Okay, I may have to find it later because I can't. It looks like Twitter has moved on since I was last there.
Yeah.
Strangely.
Old news.
Yeah, it seems like really you want to go back there, or maybe they. I don't even know if do they take stuff off once you've been like. I wonder if they change the feed once you've already looked at it. It's possible. Nope. Almost. Nope.
Quantum coffee.
Oh, the quantum coffee. Oh my God. I watched this TED Talk. Let me see if I can see any more, if I've got any more. Here it is. Okay. This was amazing. This is the quantum coffee thing was, it's this guy, Jerry Chow from IBM. And he talks about quantum computers, like why we need them. And this idea, the idea was, he was saying that in order to try to simulate the use of caffeine in our bodies, if we were trying to simulate what caffeine does in our bodies, you could not simulate it with the computers we have today, even if you added as many transistors as there are atoms in our galaxy. You could not
exactly or something. Okay.
Yeah, like you could not simulate what it's going to do properly given our type of computers basically now. Doesn't matter how many transistors you add to the thing. However small you make them. Like literally for every atom in the galaxy.
That is a lot.
Yeah. And thus we need these quantum computers is what they're saying.
And isn't that just that rather than on and off, they have like 8 states that they can go to?
Well, isn't it 4? I thought it was 4.
It could be 4.
No, it could. I don't remember, but it's qubits. Is that they're? I'm sure someone in the chat will correct us, but
yeah, quantum bits. How many states can a quantum bit be in?
Let me just throw.
I think it's 4.
I think it's 4 too. That's what I think.
Okay, I believe Chunky.
Really?
I'm not saying I don't believe.
Why? Just because he's got a nice bike?
Yeah,
he has
like up, down, and then
there's spins. Aren't there different spins and stuff?
See, that's what I was thinking. Top spin and then I don't know.
Yeah,
top.
spin.
That's
That
tennis.
counts as a
Isn't that tennis? I thought that was tennis again.
It could be.
I'm gonna throw the link in the chat because it is a great TED Talk. Not that there are many bad TED Talks, to be honest, but this guy, he's funny. He's the stuff he's talking about is just blows my mind.
Oh my God!
And
I just thought of a brilliant. Go ahead.
What do you got?
It's
Go.
a brilliant idea. I'll give it to you.
Squirrel. Yep.
Use your influence. Get us in TED Talk. You and I do a TED Talk, but we go in and improv the TED Talk.
Oh,
we
God.
don't even, we just like
That is
take
a
3
nightmare.
cards.
That
Yeah,
is like a
and we just
nightmare to me.
talk. That is not a nightmare. That is awesome.
No, the idea of
And
like
people be like, "Oh
trying to-
my God, they're so smart."
trying to improv or how stupid. Like if we're trying to improv a TED Talk.
No.
You're trying to improv a
we'll
TED
tell them
talk.
it's like, no, you can't really understand it until you're either in a wheelchair or best friends with a
Oh,
guy
that's
in a
okay.
wheelchair.
All right, that's good.
So this is probably over your head. Or not best friend, whatever.
No, best friend.
Homies.
Absolutely, totally best friends forever. There you go, Jerry. No, big fan of your work, Gimpy. What do we got? This is it here. Oh, it's blank for some reason. Yeah, you should look at this.
Well, now I don't even know.
This is good. It's this guy. This guy talking about the quantum stuff is really cool. I don't know
Up,
why
down,
it's not.
charmed, and strange. That's cool.
There you go. Well, that's the end of it. But is that in the thing now? I can't see. Yeah, that's the TED Talk. It's freaking great. Because it's fascinating because I was always a bit like, I don't know, the quantum computer. It seems like it sounds like science fiction to me. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But the idea
No,
that it can basically it's basically looking at all possible alternatives, which I can't get my. Someone said that if you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics.
If you say you understand.
Yeah,
it,
if you think you understand it, then you've got it wrong somehow. Is basically what they
you
say.
definitely are wrong.
Which I thought was kind of interesting. But yeah, that's the quantum coffee thing that I was kind of fascinated by. The idea that just this simple caffeine molecule trying to simulate that is impossible, basically, given the technology we got. So imagine when you get to like trying to simulate a body or try to simulate a DNA process or any of that kind of stuff. So while there's a lot to be learned from the bioinformatics that's available today, that we need this quantum computer to really to make any true considerable breakthroughs in this kind of stuff, in the simulation of stuff. Like eventually with quantum computers, the idea is that you could simulate weather so accurately that it's that they could actually get it right for once.
You talking about a Doctor Strange computer type thing?
Well, I don't know if it's Doctor Strange, but it's it's a quantum computer, right? Have you heard of these things, Wolf Pup?
Linus Tech Tips went and saw one, so you could look at his video.
Oh, really? Did he? He's
Yep.
Canadian. He's Vancouver, isn't he? Linus Tech Tips. That's what I think. I think Lord Chunky should be the new Linus Tech Tips. I would watch Lord Chunky
Maybe.
talking about all the latest computer stuff, and then like just ripping people apart when they get it all wrong. No, that's not what you want. Why did you buy that GPU? I still want a 3090, by the way, even though I don't need it. GPG, how's your stuff coming? Are you getting a any word on that
Okay.
computer stuff? You're muted, by the way, Chunky, just in case you didn't know.
Okay, so I got back word they sent our clothes to us, supposedly already cleaned and treated. That was not true.
Right.
So we opened up a bag, smoke smell, and my sister put a lot of them away for evidence, but we also need clothes. So
Please.
she
Yes.
washed them one time. She
Yeah.
didn't put anything crazy in there. She just did like a regular laundry load, and it came out smelled perfectly fine. So they're full of crap. But
Really?
they want to because we're starting to get a little testy. So they want us to have all of our stuff back, which we do as well. But we have to find out if it works or it doesn't work within 90 days. So that will be an interesting thing. But we've also rented, because they're charging us $900 a month for storage. So we're going to take it all and store it ourselves because it's like a third.
It feels like a scam. Like it just feels like a total scam.
Oh, God, yeah.
This whole insurance racket.
Especially because they can walk in. Because how often does your house burn down? I hope only once. So,
Right. Well, I don't know.
you
It
don't
seems
know
to
what's
follow you
going on.
around. I mean, you tried to burn down the
True.
Comfort Inn as well, right?
Get the Comfort Inn, and then we also pooped our pants because where we're at, there's farmers, and farmers burn their fields
Oh.
during the spring, I don't know what they do.
They
I
still
think they
do
like to
that?
see burning.
Isn't that like the worst
Yeah.
possible carbon emission thing like ever? Isn't that like why India is in so much trouble with the air quality because of the burning of fields?
Dude, in Colorado, if you look mean at like some sagebrush, it catches on fire now.
Oh, really? Is it
So
like
I'm
it's pretty
surprised,
crispy?
yeah.
Pretty crispy now.
Oh yeah, we're Kenwood here.
Right. Do you have wildfire issues there?
Yes.
You do.
Don't you remember like the entire Boulder?
Oh
like
God, of
1,000
course.
houses
Oh my
burned
God, yeah. What am I
down.
saying? Yes, of course. Yes, yeah.
And then south of Denver, another like 400 homes burned down this spring, and everybody's just waiting for the next giant.
Corin
fire.
Horn is saying that you have to do controlled burns to help prevent wildfires. Yeah, I've heard that
I can
there's
see that. Yeah.
yeah. It's the burning of the fields that I thought they burn the it's I guess it was I guess
corn
they
stalks and all
it's
that.
cheaper to burn it than it is to actually have to till it, I think is the idea. There was a
We did
documentary.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go.
Well, we did have a fire just like a week ago in Colorado in the mountains where it was a controlled fire that got out of control. So,
Oh no. That's got to be embarrassing, right? We got all covered. Yep, we're all good. Field burning and controlled burn lines are very different things. That's what I thought,
Yeah.
Jacinda. That's okay, very good. But I know that people get like a lot of environmentalists get freaked out when people go and they start cutting trees down in like old growth forests and stuff. And the reality is you have to do that to maintain the tree health, because you can't. I mean, if you don't trim some of those trees, the sunlight doesn't get down to the ground. It doesn't. You can get this weird sort of like almost deforestation of the forest floor because of the forest above, if the canopy above and stuff. So I know that there's different things that happen with that. But the farming one is interesting. There was a documentary I watched. I think we talked about this before with what's his name from Cheers, Woody Harrelson, and or he lent his voice to it. But it was all about. It was called Kiss the Ground or something, and it was a little hippie at places, but it was interesting because they were talking about that the way we farm is so destructive that we are basically creating deserts and dust bowls of our arable land, basically. So.
Oh, have you watched stuff on the Dust Bowl?
Well, that was this documentary was it sort of referenced all of that, because the problem is if you keep tilling the ground, like if you keep tilling it the way we do, you're basically just pulling up all the dust and having it blow away.
Well,
yeah,
we're in northeast Colorado, not far from Nebraska. Okay, and my grandpa, I think he'd be 100 this year. So about your dad's age, and then. Okay. Anyways,
my dad's gonna kick your ass.
Oh yeah.
Actually, he could kick.
Probably.
He could kick my ass too. He can move his arms.
That's
I'm just saying. Unlike me and you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fourth time.
Yeah, fourth time. Thank you. Wolf Pup's keeping track. Good man.
Where were we? Oh yeah. Okay, so he was telling me these stories I had never seen before. Like they would have to tie a chain around the bumper of their car because cars weren't, carbon composite thing. They were steel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you reached out and touched your car, it could blow you down. Like the static electricity from it would knock you down.
Oh, is that why they had those things dragging in the? Yeah. They have those de-static things.
And he said there were women that were like almost kind of losing their mind because a clean house was really something you were judged on, and it didn't matter what you did. You could put tape around the windows, and you'd have like an inch of dust in the morning.
It still got in.
It was so fine, and then they'd have like the tornado alarms, when there was a big cloud of dust coming. I mean, it must have been terrifying.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And that's in this film. I don't know whether it's legit or not, but in the film they're saying basically it's entirely man-made and it's entirely about the way we farm, right?
I've heard that we just barely dodged a big dust storm because of measures that were taken in the 40s. They make tree lines. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah, like the windbreaks.
Yeah,
the windbreaks. Yeah, we have them out here as well. Yeah.
So that actually kept it from being able to build up steam, but we're nobody's keeping those up anymore. So there you go.
One of the things they talk about in this Genesis Engine book as well is the future, where they're saying that it just makes sense for us to do synthetic biology, because instead of having to farm land so that we can feed cattle, why not just grow the meat, the specific meat that we want from cells in labs that could literally be like in the basement of the restaurant, right? Like think about how with a considerable amount of difference that would make to our environment if you didn't have to A, raise the animals, B, feed them. So the area you need for them to graze, the food you need to feed them with, the shipping of all of that stuff back and forth, the slaughtering and transport of the food, all of that stuff, if that could be done in a lab in the basement. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Oh, if you could do it with, like if it wasn't all, I wouldn't want your food source to be too centralized. I'd want a bunch of places that way if you get.
But that's
like
it. You could, every restaurant could have their own different way of genetically engineering their beef. I mean,
that would be cool.
Wouldn't that be neat? I mean, I feel like, but there are people who, and yet there's whole movements against GMOs, which I've got to say, I don't understand because I feel like we've been genetically modifying our plants since the beginning of
forever.
Yeah, ever since we started farming, we've selected for the types of species that we want, not species. What's it called? Yeah.
Google broccoli, like natural broccoli, like broccoli that hasn't been.
Oh, like what they all look like when they're supposed, like corn and stuff. Like what because they all look weird.
Looks like nothing.
Okay, broccoli.
For human beings, like
Okay, broccoli. What are you looking? Broccoli. What is it? Original broccoli?
What would you call that? Yeah, natural.
How about
broccoli,
ancient broccoli? How about that? Nope.
And they show us like your refrigerator.
I know. I was gonna say it just looks like this is when you throw it out. Broccoli, a global history of food. What? No, not really what I want.
Wild broccoli.
Wow, is that what it's called? What do people? Does anyone got any ideas?
Catherine said heirloom.
Heirloom. Okay.
I would never try to spell that
fancy.
without Captain Catherine.
Heirloom. That's pretty fancy.
I'd be like,
no, I'm drawing a blank on this. I'm getting heirloom seeds. Jesus, it's like a fractal painting. Is that? Let me see if I can pull it up for you.
Are you looking at the seeds, or are you looking at?
No. The hang on a second. Let me see if I can find
a new kind of broccoli head.
Let me see if I can find the broccoli. I'm just looking. I'm looking.
Yeah, I saw one of those. Yeah, fractal kind of stuff.
Nope, not settings. Don't want settings. What the heck? Why can't
I use that picture of the broccoli you're talking about to support my idea of free will, because there's people that believe in determinism, and so I bring that broccoli up because,
wait a second. I'm trying to do two things at the same time, so I'm not really listening properly. Hang on a second.
That's fine.
You know me and my squirrel nature. I'm just trying to find this. If I can bring up this window, then I can. There we go. Okay.
Arkansas,
all right, see what you make of this. I think this is going to be the right thing now. Okay, so this is is this the broccoli you're talking about? Is that what broccoli is supposed to look like?
Not if it's super cool. It looks like almost like a weed, a thick stalked weed with just like a little bit of broccoli junk at the top.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because I gotta find. If anyone's got a link or can point me in the right direction, because everything so far is like
corn. Real corn doesn't.
Well, yeah, real corn is just it's like, okay. You know what? Let's get a little better with my Googling. What did broccoli? I can't know. Broccoli look like? How about that?
Broccoli look like before humans.
Like before humans. There we go. Got it. History of broccoli as a food. Again, it's the same freaking image.
Maybe now go images.
I'm looking. Oh, maybe just go for images. Yeah. Look at you, Google Foo. Google Foo.
Original bananas are gone. They died.
They're done. They're finished. Yep. Is this
ago.
an example?
They say banana candy is actually what it tasted like. That's about the only memory we have of it.
Is that the broccoli? Is that so? It's basically like a weed with a flower.
Yeah.
That's so weird. See, this is I don't know what that is, but that's like a mandala. What's it called? Mandala? What's it? Is it the fractal thing? A Mandelbrot. Mandelbrot. It looks like a Mandelbrot. It's like it's wicked looking. But is that what? That's not what. That's just one we've created, I guess. Okay.
Right. That's what happens when human intervention really takes hold.
Yay. I mean, again, I think if there's a way of coming up with, if there's a way of like fixing, well, this is what it comes down to me always, is it's like, I like to think, and maybe I'm naive and silly, I like to think that all of the problems that we have, some of which, yes, are caused by the technologies themselves, can be solved by technology, you know?
Well, you know what? They're
Wait a
not
second.
going to be solved by people sitting around. So
Dude,
it's
wait a
definitely
sec.
got to be technology.
Kale and broccoli come from the same plant?
Right?
Blow your mind. And cauliflower.
Boom.
And Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Shut the... and cabbage. Holy crap.
Right?
Oh my God.
And
From
then-
the brassica or oleran... What's so? I can't... Olerantia? Oh my God. That's wild. Okay, that blows my mind. I did not know that. Okay, that is
Ooh,
very
Ginger
cool.
Tom can already spell it.
Yeah, nice. Cut and paste. It's amazing how fast you can do that. Potatoes GMO to taste like bacon. Oh, yeah. Bring it on, Rain Beastie. I'm there. It's the plant that tastes like garbage. I got to say, broccoli is a weird one because it's one of my favorite vegetables, as is Brussels sprouts, as is cauliflower. Wait a second. Maybe
If
I'm just
you
a big
add
fan.
tempura, I'm on board.
Oh, yeah, tempura anything. But basically deep fry
Yeah.
anything. That's like, the British, or is it the Scottish who deep fry Mars bars? I'm all over that. I mean, that's fine. So
Like in their fish batter or something?
in German, I'm losing the thread now. Here I go. I'll be wrapping up soon. Brussels sprouts are actually called cabbage sprouts in German. Ha! Try purple cauliflower. I have. Delicious. I saw Jack Jasper in here ages ago too. I didn't get a chance to say hi to Jack Jasper. I wonder how he's doing. He's actually, we should talk to him about an icon. He's great at logos.
True.
Get him to work on a logo. That'd be awesome. VR Gimp 31 says that's like the UN of vegetables. And it's only one plant.
Yeah.
Well put, sir. Well put.
Well said.
For the internet win, VR Gimp 31. They do sort of look like tiny cabbages. Well, they are. Well, they do,
Yeah.
Rainy Beast, of course. Captain Catherine's mildly obsessed with blue and purple vegetables. I don't know what that says about Captain Catherine, but sprout-sized, you might say. All right, folks, I'm definitely beginning to feel it, so I'm gonna wrap up. Gippy G, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for.
I'm so sorry I
all of that.
talked over the kids, but thank you.
What? No, you're fine.
I love the kids. They're so great.
I tell you to shut up whenever they have something to say. It's fine.
Okay, good call. Good
Yeah.
call. That's
It's
good policy.
It's good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so what? We got anyone got any news they want to share? Anything before I wrap up? Anyone got any interesting stuff for me? Lord Chunky, any word on GPUs or anything we should know? Any tech stuff we should be?
Oh, is
we
he
should be
still
talking
farming? Or
No,
mining
not
or
much
whatever?
right now.
What are you spending your time on, Lord Chunky? What game are you doing now? What sort of stuff? Are you
I haven't really been playing any games recently.
Oh, because you've been
my
too busy
goodness.
playing on your bike.
A
Seriously?
little bit, yeah.
Is that what you're doing? Like
No.
you're just like
I've
I gotta
just
tell
been-
you the
I don't
truth. Chunky is real smart and sophisticated. I wouldn't be surprised if he's spending
Nah, I've
time-
met him. He's just tall.
You know,
He's just really tall.
he's tall too.
He's taller than I
There
think he
you go.
might be taller than I am now.
I think I'm a little bit taller
So-
than you.
Okay, you know
Not
what?
by
I
much.
bet I know what he's
Which
doing.
means you're no longer welcome here, Lord Chunky. As soon as
Oh,
you're taller
no.
than me, I want nothing. Yeah. So, but seriously, like instead of gaming, you've been like what? Like cycling around, or just be busy with school and stuff, or what? Like, what's the deal?
Busy with
Nah,
school
like-
and stuff a lot. Yeah.
Is there a
and
lot of
stuff.
homework?
I have a lot this semester. Yeah.
Really? Wait a sec. Why doesn't?
Mhm.
Should I be nervous? I'm nervous because Baz has like got plenty of time. Should I be nervous
Depends on
about
the
that?
classes. Like from what I've talked to, I've just gotten unlucky with teachers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard you got unlucky on geography.
Yes. I
Hi,
did.
Chris.
Because geography, there's like
Yeah.
Baz has got like the coolest geography teacher who's like he's like a Twitch streamer and stuff, but he won't tell anyone what his name. We should try to find him because he doesn't want us to, which immediately makes you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you should try to Facebook stalk his teacher and try to find him.
You don't think we should like cyber stalk his teacher?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Why would he
Could
bring it
try,
up if
why
he
not?
didn't want us to look?
Yeah,
Hello?
exactly. Like, come on. If he's gonna mention it, he's gotta you gotta be fair game for that.
That's exactly like Chunky with his bicycle.
Yeah.
What bicycle?
Well,
picture did I just send
did
you?
I send that did I send that photo? Oh, I didn't mean to. Yeah, I guess. Well, if we're gonna talk about it, I guess. Yeah, it is a great bike.
That was before I bought it, I think.
I think it was actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think this is from like April the 4th. When did you actually end up buying it?
Shortly after that, probably.
Oh, really? Oh, so you've had it for a while now. Do you like? Are you like one of those people like me who would like? I don't want it to ever get old, so I'd like want to clean it after every time I used it.
I do clean it like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that?
Oh, that means you love it.
Yeah, that's like I can't I'm like I'm of two minds. Either I want it to look really used, or I want it to look brand freaking new. Like once it's be a little bashed in, I'm like, okay, great. Let me just make it look all like all I do is ride around and have accidents, that kind of stuff.
Somebody pointed
I would
something out.
want people to think that you have accidents.
Well, not accidents, but I mean like that I'm like really tough and I cycle around. So
Like it's hardcore.
what do you got, KPG? Someone's done something. What?
Someone in chat said that Wolf Pup is our moral compass here. Like anytime you and I come up with an idea to do experiments on twins or cool stuff like that, boys.
It's
Wolf
true.
Pup
Wolf
like,
Pup steps in
"No."
and goes like, "You're all going to jail or hell or one of the two,
Or both.
Oh,
or both. Jail hell. Ooh, jail hell, or a Dungeons and Dragons jail. We're all gonna get flung around like small. What were they called? Half dragon, half borns, or what were they?
oh, Dragonborn.
Dragonborn cannonball. There you go. All right, Wolf Pup, you got anything to share before I sign off?
Ooh,
Let's
I
go
actually have
talk
one more
about
thing.
something.
Oh wait, Lord Chucky's got something else.
If you are gonna get a graphics card,
Yeah.
just get a 6900 XT instead of a 3090.
What? What are them
No
MM?
way.
What those AMD ones?
Yeah,
I can't even say it. MMD. See, that's what happens when you get
they're
COVID.
much better priced right now.
But are
Wait a
they
minute.
are they any good?
Let me fight back
Yes, they're
against
very
this.
good.
Wait a sec.
Because
So
the NVEC encoding for streaming on an NVIDIA card is like priceless, though.
oh
I
really?
guess if you're streaming a lot,
Yeah.
Sorry, it's an AMD what? What do you mean if I'm streaming a lot? That's all I do. I have no life,
Well,
Lord
nice.
Chunky. What else am I doing?
but if you're not streaming games, you could get away with it. And
Oh, I don't stream games.
He said 6900 XT, I believe.
6900 XT,
I'm looking,
which is
I'm
probably
looking.
still ridiculously overkill compared to what you need.
No, I love Overkill. 6900 XT. Oh, look at that baby.
It's got like
Aren't we kind of
3
mad at Nvidia
bands.
right now? Though, didn't Nvidia get caught doing some like? They were making crap up about like, oh no, we've sold lots of gaming GPUs when really they were selling
Oh,
them all
probably.
to. They were selling them all
they
to.
kind of lied about that, and they
Yeah.
got charged like $4 million.
Oh
Yay,
no,
Not
that's
for
like
really
million.
affect
almost.
them so much.
That's almost.
Almost an hour's worth of their
I was
time.
gonna say. Oh my god, that hour was just wasted. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm so torn on that because I'm not buying anything yet right now. I think honestly,
No,
if
it's
I bought
not a good time to buy.
if I bought anything right now, I'd probably end up buying like an Apple laptop. That's
Those are actually probably a decent thing to buy.
Do you guys think 4090s are gonna, like, do you think the 4000 series is gonna come out this fall?
Yes,
or do you
probably.
think-
You think so?
I think
They can't even
sometime
get the other
before
ones out.
2022. They've been getting them out just fine. There's slight stock issues, but the stock actually gotten quite.
You
a bit
sound
better.
like you should work for them. Like you totally sound like a lawyer. You're like, well, I wouldn't say that there are problems so much as there's been some supply issues. Yes. Yeah.
Perhaps a hiccup.
Yeah. What are you running now? You're still running yours, right?
2070, yeah.
27. I gotta say,
Oh man, my poor buddy.
I got the 10. What have I got? The 980 Ti or something?
TI.
It's
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
great. It's
It is
great.
for if you're not gaming, yeah.
I'm not gaming anymore. I got vertigo.
feel like
I get motion sickness
Making
now.
toast. It's good.
Okay, you
If
know
that's
what?
what you notice,
Potato.
like,
Oh,
the
CPU a lot
9080
more.
is
I'm
good.
sorry, Gimpy G. What is the GPU in your iPad that you're running right now?
I don't know, some kind of ARM chip thing.
Actually, yeah, it's probably quite good actually because it's you've got the Pro, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, me too. It's great.
We're so awesome.
We got to figure out how to do the streaming of Magic the Gathering though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we could just stream what we were doing. It would work really well.
I know. I think
True.
that's in fact maybe we should
Hello.
start. We could start like that, and then I think. But I got to show you this other one.
Did
This
you
magic.
see what Chris Perillo just said?
What?
GPU equals Gimpy processing unit. Boom.
The Gimpy processing unit.
I'm
Uh,
stealing that, Chris. Thank you.
no, it's. I think he's giving it to you as a gift.
Well,
How are
thank
you, by the way, Chris? I see. He pops up all the time now. I see he's constantly doing stuff.
He is a streaming animal.
He's a machine. He really is.
Like Mother's Day, he's like, I don't
What?
care.
You streamed on Mother's Day?
He did.
Well, that's
It's
just
like,
wrong.
wife be dead.
I'm gonna
going on.
I gotta put his. I just want to put his stream in the chat, because the 4 people that watch us might be interested in.
Well,
Great.
and just so everybody knows, Chris didn't know me from Adam, and when my house burnt down, he did a really successful fundraiser.
Damn right.
stream for me. And
Damn.
my goodness, that helped.
Um.
I couldn't even sleep until I got my bed back. And that's what it bought. So thank you so much.
Do you know that Chris Perlow's down as an American entrepreneur?
I thought of him more as an American myth.
The man, the legend, the myth.
Yeah,
But the myth, myth implies that there's nothing
icon.
behind the icon. Maybe better. Yeah.
Icon.
All right, let me get this in the chat. Here we go. This is
Yeah, I see
Chris.
what's on
Apparently, you're an American entrepreneur, Chris. Just so
Wow.
you know. Yeah. I think that's your channel. It's just a string of weird numbers for some reason. Let me just see. Let me make sure before I post that. It could be one of weird Gimpy G's weird links or something. I don't want to be
Could
posting
be.
it wrong.
Don't look
Wrong.
at my links.
Nothing to see here. Let me just see if I can do this. Is this Chris? Just making sure. I don't know why for some reason it's made it so complicated. Chris, do you not have a name attached to yours, or is it truly just a list of weirdly random numbers? Okay, here we go. No, that's definitely
Ooh,
it.
He's
That
a
works.
3D printing god.
Oh, that's
Ask him
true.
about the-
Yeah. What about the?
Ask him about the resin.
Yeah, Chris. What do you think of this? The resin printers. What would you get if you were getting a resin printer right now? I don't know why I'm waiting in silence. Like he's somehow going to be able to suddenly start
It's like
talking
he's
through
gonna
the.
talk.
I literally forgot what I was doing and was waiting for him to answer. For resin, yeah. Like, do you have a resin? Do you like the? If you, look at that. If I had the money, Prusa. That's what I said, Chris. Chris, you've just proved me right and Gimpy wrong yet again. It's fantastic.
I couldn't remember what the name is. Well, I know that Linus was pushing one, and so I don't know.
Yeah, no, and and you're cattle, so basically
Yeah.
you'll go wherever
Like
the.
easily led.
Exactly. Yeah. Poor Gimpy. So easily led. All right, Chris, everybody. Oh, what's it? Clutch says Prusa SL1S is pretty expensive. It is expensive, but I got to say, if it's expensive, it means it's well built because I trust Prusa. I got to say, I have 2 Prusa printers. I love that man. I think what he's built is brilliant. I think what he's built as a company is brilliant. I'm like, there's no strings attached here. I spent my own money on my first Prusa printer. I loved it. He very kindly sent me another one after. And I tried to donate my old one to the school, and they said no because they were scared that the kids would get burned.
At Maker Deck.
Could you?
Is that like what is that?
What? Or Maker Deck? What's Maker Deck? Check out Maker Deck. That's where we're doing. Oh, that's right. 27. That's right. 24/7 printers, up to 10 people at a time. Please ask for advice over there. Okay, we'll do that. Chris, we'll definitely do that. Can I make Chris a VP so he can put his links in? Is there a way to do that? Or Cal, is Cal still awake?
Where's Cal? I haven't seen Cal.
I haven't seen Cal. I think I may have thrown her off by being so nice to her at the beginning. I said I actually loved Cal, and that might have just thrown her off.
Oh, that will
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, I didn't really
Chunky,
mean it.
don't you have powers? Computer powers?
Chunky, do you have computer powers? Maker Deck is the name of Chris's new project, and I love it because it's the whole idea is it's this like basically 24/7 channel. Is it just about 3D printing, Chris?
Well, may I, while he's answering,
Yeah.
since he's not actually going to talk.
Since I am yet again waiting for him to respond. Oh, making. Yeah, it's all making.
Yeah.
So wait a sec. So
No.
Chris, we could put my garage on there. If I get the garage set
I
up
got
and
a
we've got all the
house.
stuff. Yeah. You put the house
How
up.
we make my house.
Build the house. It's true.
Yeah.
I'm just going to choke
But-
and die. I'm fine.
But
Carry on without me.
we know somebody who creates adaptive things for people like me, and they 3D print a lot of the casing and
Oh,
different
that's
portions
true.
of it. And I'm wondering if we could throw Maker Deck at that and help this
Yeah.
single man who is providing every one of these devices.
We should talk to
for
him first, though.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
Before you
I'm
sell
not
his
gonna say who
business
it
down
is.
the.
No, I'm not going to. I was going to thank you for blocking me.
All of a
I'm
sudden,
like,
all
like
these makers suddenly show up at his house, and he's like, thanks.
Thank you.
Pretty much trying to just have people making no faces, no audio, just hands. If anything, I've got the ugliest hands, though, Chris.
No,
I can wear
sausage
gloves.
fingers.
I can wear gloves. It's true. Working on makes projects. People have painted miniatures on it. Oh, that's awesome. Is that so? When you say trying to have, okay, Chris, you know what? I got to chat with you at some point because I want to, and we should talk about this because I think there's some maybe Stargate or Tech Bandit people who would probably be interested in this as well. Laughing makes me cough too. It sucks. Is that a COVID thing? Oh my God, that is something I do a lot recently.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, is that long COVID again? Oh my God, I'm gonna
Does
become.
COVID give you racist sausage fingers too?
What? How did they become racist?
On Clarice, you pointed at a black woman and was like saying mean things to her.
Oh, with my sausage fingers. Yeah.
And it was like your finger was like all 3D coming out of my TV.
And you
doing
know
racism.
what? My favorite actress too. I mean, or one of my favorite actresses of all time. She is I was like, it was, like when you're like working with someone and you're like, damn it, they are like acting me under the table. Yeah.
I knew she was a good actor because
She's
she
good.
acted like she couldn't jump across that desk and snap your neck.
I know, and break me like a twig. It's so true. I'm gonna get her name wrong, which I don't want to. Let me see if I can look it up. I don't want to. I always get it wrong, so I want to make sure I get the right name before I start throwing it out there because she's truly a superstar. Like she's gonna be.
She was good.
She's gonna be huge.
Real good.
You wait. Yeah, her name is that's it. It's Devon. And I always get it wrong, but it's Devon A. Taylor. She is freaking amazing. Like she's just, I think if I got this right, she got into acting because her family was like evacuated from Louisiana during the floods. Like what?
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah. And the school that she ended up at was like an arts school. Like she'd never done acting before, but she's like, all of a sudden she's like, in the middle of nowhere and being sort of like in this temporary life like Gippy G's in right now. And the local school happened to be like have a theater program that she was in. And then now she's a freaking professional actress doing, was doing Clarice. But anyways.
That's so cool though.
Isn't that amazing? Like I just
was calling. Some spoiler alert.
What? Oh no, it's canceled. Well, we got canceled ages ago.
We got canceled.
I know. I was felt for sure that it was like a show that could run forever, but I think MGM and I think somebody made some bad decisions there for sure.
I kind of thought there would be a spin-off and you'd be like a racist Urkel kind of thing.
You don't need some
like,
spin-off. I don't even need a spin-off. I was just happy to be sexist and inappropriate and, I was enjoying that. It was so much fun because what's great about playing those kind of characters is that when people are working with you, they always tell you how nice you are, but it's like they're really just saying like, oh, it's so nice that you're not a racist, sexist, homophobic, like asshat or whatever one would say. Anime Confuser says that the asthma. It's funny because of the COVID. So I haven't used my inhaler in like 10 years. I got the day that I had this an asthma attack, which I thought it was an asthma attack. It was an asthma attack. I had an asthma attack that turned out to be my first day of COVID. Since then, I've been hitting the inhaler probably a couple times a week, which is bizarre.
Now it ran out 5 years ago.
Oh God, they're all expired. No, all of my COVID, they're all expired. But you know what? I don't believe in that. People have painted there before. Chris, so you're trying not to get people on the street. Like you don't want people's faces. Like you're trying not to. This you can see. I'm getting all nervous about it because I'm like, wait a second, people don't want to see my face. No, I kind of love that. Do you need a couple of guys to do some Magic the Gathering? because you don't have to see our faces while we do that. I hate when shows get canceled when there's still a story to tell. This is I thought they did a great job because they took a story that was so 1980s white, like so crazy, like just sort of the only sort of like underlying thing that was interesting at the time was the fact that she was a female agent in a very male world. And then she had, in this kind of tokenist approach to film that of the 80s and 90s. Clarice had a I think she was black roommate. And so when they did the TV series, what I love about it is that they've really integrated that, I think, very well. Was they've modernized it by saying, like, okay, you think it was bad for Clarice, who was a female agent. Imagine being a black female agent at that time. I mean, like, that's it. The other one that was really interesting was they talk about how, all villains, as we know, all people with disabilities are all villains in movies because, of course, because they're all villains in life, of course. So there's definitely a sort of a cliche that's sort of followed the disabled community around in the film industry. In the same way, the trans community in all of these horror films, the idea that if you dress up as a girl, you've got to be
Buffalo
Buffalo Bill. So there's this whole thing about there's a whole trans thing there. I just thought it was brilliant. I was very, very, very impressed with that show. I thought that was amazing, and then they canceled it, and they're goofs. All right, I'm out of here.
Okay, buddy, you get a good rest.
I'm going to get a good rest, although I might bother you about some magic stuff, but we'll see.
That'd be okay.
Yeah. Without the pressure of, audience and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, look, thank you so, so much. Even Cal, who disappeared. And thank you to all our new folks who showed up and said hi. Chris, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for this Maker Deck thing. I'm very much looking forward to that. So if I put Maker Deck in Twitch, will I find it? Wait a sec. Can we raid Maker Deck? Can we do that? Would that work?
Bye, Chris.
Wait a sec. Can we raid Maker, or is it on YouTube? It's on YouTube. Is it YouTube or is it Twitch? Is it Maker Deck? Is that right?
He said, yeah, you can open it. So it sounds like it's on Twitch. You can raid, if you can.
Oh, look at that. Oh my God, there's people printing stuff right now.
Yay.
Maker Deck 24/7 3D print. We're totally raiding. Let's raid. Let's go raid. Let's raid this. You don't mind, do you, Wolfpup? If I raid Maker Deck.
I actually don't know who Maker Tech is.
You're about to raid. How do I do raid again? Is it exclamation mark? It's been so long since I've done this. Is it exclamation raid, or is it /raid?
I thought you just say make it so, and it does it.
I wish. Oh, that's something. Okay, before I do this, one more thing, Gippy G.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how often, in your wisdom, you drop the thing that you use for your
my stick. Yeah.
Your stick. I at one point had my Lego responding to the Amazon woman, who won't be named because otherwise she'll start yelling at me.
Your Lego robot. Okay, I thought
a Lego robot.
Lego.
Yeah.
Single brick.
You thought I'd lost. You thought I'd lost it again, hadn't you? But I wondered.
The COVID was taking over.
Is there any benefit to you to have something that would allow you to retrieve the stick if you drop it?
Oh my God, dude, that would be amazing, because part of the reason people don't feel comfortable leaving me alone is, like, if I'm going to use my stick effectively, I need to be able to reach and all those things, and I'll just drop it sometimes. If I had,
just to be a dick.
Well, yeah, and I'll just throw it off the side of my table and go,
got it.
Have that, dog.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So
pick it up. Yeah. Got it.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'm monkey.
Well, because I started thinking, like, would there be like a way, like, could you have like a filament on it or a thread on it or something? So there's no weight or no noticeable additional weight to it, so that if it fell,
you gotta think.
So if it fell, you could then say, "Hey, robot woman, retrieve," and it just wound in a little motor and pulled it back or whatever.
Up and around and stick.
I mean, I even wondered if maybe there'd be something behind you. Anyways, it might be worth playing with because it could be kind of fun. it could be kind of fun to do. And I just keep thinking about like little things that could be kind of fun to play with. You know, Maker Deck has followed. Oh, great. We got to follow. I got to follow Maker Deck too. Okay. All right. Anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out there. If you want to chat about that sometime, we should do. That'd be kind of a fun project to work on. Maybe that's a project we could work on Maker. What's it called again? Maker Deck?
Maker Deck.
We could do our hands could be busy while we chatted. Oh,
You're not going to get much out of my hands.
Is there audio? Well, we just have your hands there just as a reference. Or maybe we should just have your head or the back of your head. Okay. All right, I've talked way too long. It's like a fishing rod. Exactly, like a fishing rod.
Yeah.
That would just with a little motor on it. Because it doesn't weigh much, does it?
No. I wouldn't be able to pick it up. We designed it for lightness.
Right. So do you think it could bear a little filament, like, super glued to it or something?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking thread-like, right? So,
yeah. Where would it get? But it might get in the way, though, is the thing.
I'm thinking if it came in through toward the business end, that way it came up and into a glass or just somewhere where I can grab the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
I'll shoot a picture. I'll make a picture of it and put it up, and send it to Chris and guys and everybody so they can look at it. See the ideas.
Because I feel like you could 3D print a little sort of support for it that could actually hold the filament, like that's hollow, that the filament could run through, that could sit on it on the back of the chair or something, or
what? That would help too. A holster. If we could come up with a proper holster, because I don't like keeping it in my mouth all the time.
Well, that's the other thing I was thinking was it would be nice if you could just sort of drop it and then retrieve it as you need to. Type thing.
If I drop it, it just goes where it's supposed to. That'd be cool.
Huh. And it could also be like
the Force.
Yeah.
We invent the Force.
Well, that'd be even better.
Yeah.
That'd be just mind control thing. That's the Neuralink thing we gotta work on. Yeah. Because God knows we want Elon Musk in our heads for sure. Once he's got Twitter, that's exactly what we want. All right. Okay. I'm gonna do my raid thing. I'm raiding Maker Deck. I think we're gonna do this now. So, look, everybody. Thank you so much. This has been really fun. I gotta say, it's been a good one. And I'm sorry that I'm fading now, but oh God, with 2 hours and 45 minutes, it's not bad. Jesus.
No.
I think we've bored people long enough. I think. We've basically rendered all of the Tech Bandits unconscious at this point. So, all right.
Still conscious.
Oh, you're still conscious? Oh, thank God. Okay. You're killing me. I said my goodbyes 22 minutes ago. Yeah, well, Jacinda Pandy, come on. You know us. You know me.
We know that works.
It's the long goodbye. That's me. I mean, I just keep going. That's the thing. Okay, I'm out of here. Enemy Confused says 23 minutes. It's not bad for me. That's actually quite short. All right. Be safe. Be kind. Be brilliant. And we'll see you all soon. I'm not sure when I'll be back, but hopefully, maybe the next time you see us, maybe Gimpy G and I'll be playing some Magic. Or maybe we'll be on Maker Deck. Yeah, everyone go check out Maker Deck as well. Go check out Maker Deck for sure. Hey, Chainsaw NL. Have a good one. Thanks for coming by. You chose the perfect time to chat, just as I was leaving. We're still raiding. Yeah, we're gonna raid Maker Deck, right? Here he goes. See if this works. Weren't we raiding? What do you mean, weren't we raiding? I am raiding. Aren't I raiding now? Did that work? Did that work? I don't know if that worked.
Nobody answered, did they?
Did I fail?
What the command was for a raid?
I thought I just typed it in, but it didn't work for some reason. Okay, I've done something wrong. I blame Gimpy. Raid.
I blame COVID.
Raid. Oh, do I not need the @ I don't need the @ The @ throws it off, doesn't it? Slash, not exclamation. And I don't need the @ symbol, right? Let's try that. Oh, there you go. There you go. Done.
Yay.
All 20 viewers, 30 viewers. Oh, 40. Jeez, there's a lot of people in today. Wow. 53. Wow, 54 people. Wow. Well, thank you for joining us. Okay, ready for the raid? Here we go. We're going in. Raiding.
Ooh.
Huzzah! We're going into Maker.
We did it.
Let's see what's going on here. Look at this. Like 9 screens of making. How cool is that?
This was a smart idea.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Chris had.
Absolutely brilliant. Look at that. We've got Pez Liz in there. We've got Mad Cat USA. We've got Astro Caleb. We've got Solar 3DP. We've got Chris. We've got
you know
Silver
what
Sunbeam. Wow.
The smart thing about what he did is making it where you can't show your face. Is he brings in a lot of people who would not join with the idea that they might have to.
Yep.
So just by putting that rule up there, he brings people in.
No, it's
Someone's
smart.
taking a
Smart.
katana?
I think so. I think that's what it said. I saw that in the list somewhere. Oh, look, how about an alcohol ink stand? What the hell's that?
Is there ink? I think that's a type of ink.
Oh, is
like
it?
it's
Oh.
alcohol based rather than like water or.
I thought you just said it's alcohol based instead of blood based, and I was like, what?
No.
Followers
That's
only
cool.
chat. Well, of course I'm following. Aren't I
That's
following?
actually a fun thing to talk about. Egyptians used to use ground up mummies for brown paint.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point of mummifying someone just so you can grind them up and use them as ink? It
Because
seems like a lot of work.
paint
Oh.
is good at.
Oh, look at this. He zooms in on people every so often. Oh,
I wonder if he's babysitting or if it just does it like if he's got something set up periodically to do that.
He must. That's just brilliant. That is really
He's a smart
smart.
dude.
Yeah. See? Well, you know why? Because he's an American entrepreneur.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to bail. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, buddy.
Lord Chunky, thanks for
Bye.
coming by, buddy.
No problem.
Good luck
See
with
you
your
in the next
cycling.
one.
We'll see you whizzing by on your Marin.
Yeah, maybe.
Baby. Did you say baby or maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, okay, because I thought baby was kind of weird, to be honest. I thought it was kind of an
Yeah,
odd
that
choice.
would be kind of
It's not. It's not a choice. You just made it really weird. All right, get out of here. Vibe Pup, thanks, buddy, for once again being there. Always. He's always there.
Always.
Vibe Pup. He's the constant. He's the one constant we have. All right,
It's
get
the
out
only
of here.
stability we have.
It's true. It's true. It's right. We got to cling to it. Cling to Vibe Pup as long as we can. All right. Talk to you soon. See y'all. Bye.
All right, see ya.